Other companies might deliver a lot of hay. ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable, even if your clients move to another state. The program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fallon Hills at 95.9 FM. Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender, and I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He is not in today, but we got Keon Rose right there. Ralph might show up a little bit later on, and we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And yes, Randy, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this about Randy White, but Randy White is part of the robotics and puppetry team that runs Mitch McDonald, and he's been faulting lately. So Randy had to fly out and try to figure out why he keeps freezing up. I don't know if it's software, don't know if it's the mechanics of the puppet, but Randy White is on call to fix stuff like that. So Mitch McDonald, again, he froze up again. Yeah, and so people are yelling and screaming at Randy on the phone, so he had to go take care of that. So Randy will be back tomorrow. Ralph might join us later, but we're here. I've got a bunch of cool things that I need to announce to you people. And of course, you guys are always on this text line, 888-368-1580. But I'll start with one of the cool announcements. Now, everybody at our big draft party last Friday, panic. Why? Because I had told them that Rosalie Michaels, our fantasy football expert, fantasy girl, she would not be available for the first 4 weeks of the season. She is hanging out in Italy. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It's not my business. But she said, I'm still here. I'm still going to be part of the show. I just can't be there for the first 4 weeks. And I was, well, okay, we'll figure it out. I was okay with it because I thought, well, I'm pretty good at this. I can give you fantasy football advice. And of course, the frightened looks in everybody's eyes at the remote, the uncertainty, the fear. So I'm like, fine. So we went ahead and got a fill-in fantasy football expert who I believe has a phone that is in actual working condition. And his name is Scott Engel. He's a Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Famer, and he's a writer for something called The Game Day. And it's like a betting website. And you can find this guy. He's got like 33,000 followers on the Twitter. So Scott E. the King is who he is out there if you want to check him out. But he's going to be on the show tomorrow, sort of get to know him. And then every Thursday before Thursday Night Football, he's going to answer your questions the same way Rosalie Michaels would do every single week. So there you go. We have taken care of you. You're welcome, America.
It's good to know because, look, if Scott gives advice and the advice doesn't necessarily work, we can blame Scott. If we were giving the advice, we'd have to also take responsibility for basically everything, and that's not our style, really.
Now you know why I went out and got us an expert.
It's a good move.
I mean, I'm pretty good at the fantasy football. I have waiver wired my way into playoffs and championship games more than a couple of occasions. And if I'm going to have any success, I'm going to have to do it this year. By the way, I have a new thing that I like to do so I'm in the Premier League, but the League 14, I didn't have a chance to put in somebody to run the commissioner's team. So I'm like, you know what? I can run that one. And it had a really nice draft. The auto draft on that thing was really good, actually. And so I've got probably a stacked team. I'll probably win that league with the team that got auto drafted for me. But then, our 16, I guess he's 18 now. Our kid here at the house who likes to play fantasy football, he moved to that league so he could play against his buddy. And so now I'm in that league, he's in that league, and his buddy's in that league. But here's the thing you have to understand about this kid. The minute the league was established and the draft was done, they're already just running around proposing trades and trying to move and shake. And nobody ever, hardly ever trades in the fantasy football. And I'll be honest, the trade he sent to me might have been a good one. But because he sent it to me, I'm going to reject it immediately. But I reject trades differently than maybe you guys do. So he sends me a trade. I can't remember who it was. It was 3 players for 2 players. And, it was big time players, right? So I respond with, okay, how about this? You give me Lamar Jackson and you get a kicker. And so I just basically made it clear this wasn't happening. And so he rejected my trade for it. So anytime somebody sends me a trade in fantasy football in the Daily Blender fantasy football leagues, the counter offer will be whatever you wanted to offer me, but I'll give you my kicker.
And the thing is, if their thumb slips or something like that, you might end up with a really great player.
Yeah. But if my thumb slips,
that's a good point. It's a two-edged sword. It goes both ways.
So, that's what you're going to get from me. I can't. The last trade I did, I caught so much crap for. This is back in the day. Big George was in the league, and I needed, I can't remember what it was, but I think I needed a tight end or whatever. So I traded him Antonio Brown Juju Smith-Schuster, or I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the trade for Gronkowski, but this is at Gronkowski, peak Gronkowski. And everybody lost their mind, said, oh, it's collusion. And he was in Hawaii on vacation. And so they said, you took advantage of the drunk George and all that stuff. And because I was just like, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it trying to trade nobody in these leagues. And I'll be honest, if somebody comes to me for a trade, I go, oh, you have a weakness. You'll get nothing from me. Just the way we are.
Yeah.
So, I don't trade much. Do you get any, do you do much trading? Do you even get offers? Because you're so bad at drafting. I can't imagine a player anyone wants.
That's not even true. I got 2 trade offers last year. I don't remember what they were because I rejected them both because I don't feel like either trade that came my way, I came out on top. So I just said no to both of them and just moved on.
You know why there's not so much trading in fantasy football? It's the same reason you don't see trades between the Colts and the Titans. It's the same reason you don't see trades between the Commandos and the Cowboys. You don't trade in your division. And when you're in fantasy football, everybody is in your division.
The leagues are just small. I mean, even the big league, quote unquote, that's got 12 teams in it, you trade somebody to a team that stinks, you could actually boost them from maybe 10th to being a playoff team. You want to really help them like that?
It.
Yeah. I mean, if that trade helps them and they work the waiver wire, well, they could really jump up.
So that's why I don't trade. Because I'm petty and I'm small. 888-368-1580. Navy Brad says, greetings all. I am so ready for football season. With football, the weather is changing, cooler temperatures in a few weeks. No, it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. If we have the hottest summer on record since there were records, I have a feeling the heat is going to drag deep into September. And I hate to be the one to say that. And I hope I'm wrong. But it just doesn't. Look at today. What was 110 out there and humid? Yeah,
I don't know what the number was, but it didn't feel good. It felt very awful.
It ain't going to be cool anytime soon, Navy Brad. But hey, maybe we get lucky. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Hello, George. He says, well. Diamondbacks got their asses kicked last night by the Dodgers. I hate to say it, but the Diamondbacks are not ready for prime time and can't compete against the Dodgers. Hey, but at least we have the Suns. George, we know this. We knew that. And we hope that the Diamondbacks had kind of been in a place where, maybe we could steal a game or two from the Dodgers, and maybe we can't. And again, we are in far better shape than we thought we were going to be at this time, when we first started the season. So don't get all like that. They're not ready for prime time, yada, yada, yada.
And the Dodgers are just playing. I mean, even for them, they're really hot right now. And I just think that you got to give them credit for that. And the Diamondback bats were really hot, and we kind of hoped that they would keep going, but it's not like, the Dodgers can't pitch either. So it just was something that they are the better baseball team, and they're healthy, and they're playing lights out baseball.
Yeah. In fact, there's no moral victories, but game before, it was a close game. It was a good game. This game, friggin' blowout. So, it wasn't like we never had a chance in these contests, and there's still, I believe, one more game to go for this. Let's just see how that goes. Maybe we'll steal one. But the Dodgers are who the Dodgers are. The Diamondbacks are who the Diamondbacks are. The problem with the Diamondbacks is we're hot and we're cold. And we got cold on the Dodgers. We got hot on the Texans. So I can't figure this crap out. Zach, Gallen, maybe didn't have the best night. And then, of course, last night, Kelly had a horrific night. It was a bad night. He is 0-11 in 16 career starts against the Dodgers. I don't understand that number, Keon. How can you be 0-11 in 16 starts? Does that make sense? Shouldn't he be 0-16?
Because
what happened to those other 5 games?
The win went to another pitcher who pitched in that game, or the loss rather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he wasn't credited with the loss in all of those games.
Mm-hmm. Because nobody ever finishes a game. It's hard to keep track of this crap.
Or the win, even. Mm-hmm. If they ended up winning, he may not have been credited for that either. So yeah, he's 0-11.
Things were so bad in the game last night. They're like, "Hey, Jose, you want to pitch?" He's like, "Yeah, all right." He's the catcher. The catcher went out there and pitched the 8th inning. He completed a 1-2-3 inning. but he was pitching at about the speed of 50 miles an hour. So that's when you know that the game is just over.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens in some of those games that just turn into laughers. You just start screwing around a little bit.
And the Dodgers will continue to laugh at us. Tonight's game, they got Ryan Peapot. He's a AAA Oklahoma City guy that got called up to start. So they're just bringing some rando from the minors up because that's how little they fear these Diamondbacks. We've got Brandon Fad,
who is a pitcher actually that the Diamondbacks called up earlier this season. They were hoping that he'd be really good, and he's just been okay.
5.91 ERA. He is 1-6.
He was really bad when he started. Those first couple of games did not look good, and then it kind of settled down, and then he kind of got blown up a little bit again later. So it just really seems like there's a consistency thing there, and they're just going to have to develop him. I mean, you got to throw him out there.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Listen, hey, again, like I said, I'm not bashing the Diamondbacks, and I'm not going to jump on board with that. We're better than we thought we would be, and this is ending about the way we imagined it would. It would have been nice to take one or two from the Dodgers, and let's hope we can do that tonight. Heavy Metal Maniac says, I don't care what anybody says. I still have confidence that we're going to get into the playoffs. Whether we go anywhere, well, that's a different story, but we're going to make the playoffs. You heard it here first. Say what you want. I have a lot of confidence they can do it, says Heavy Metal Maniacs. Well, pal, I hope you're right. And listen, I'm not poo-poo. I'm just realist. I'm a realist. I just, I see it as it is. I don't go Homer crazy for anything. Donnie can't say one damn thing against me when I start talking about my teams, because I'm probably going to bash them before you will, and it's just more realism than, pride or poo-poo.
And I think that Heavy Metal Maniacs is being a realistic fan. If you're aiming for the wild card, they're half a game out. There's still enough baseball left that they can get right back on track. Teams lose when they play the Dodgers lately. Don't know if you've noticed. That's not necessarily just a Diamondback thing. That's anybody who plays the Dodgers thing. So, try and get back on track. I know the schedule doesn't get easy after this, but anything's easier than playing them. So, handle your business, try and get the bats going again and see what you can do.
We've beat them before, so we can beat them again. And who knows what's going to happen between now and the end of the season. Heavy Metal Maniac, you might be right. So, I mean, whatever happens, either way, better season than we thought it would be. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Big George says, oh, I remember the day well, Jeffrey. Oh, he's talking about my trade back when we all got yelled at. He says, I was on a cruise ship in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Oh, I thought you were in Hawaii. He says, I was drinking Mai Tais at the adult pool, and that trade came across my phone. I accepted it because you're my guy, and I was under the influence of alcohol. It was Gronk for Juju Smith-Schuster, which I don't think was a bad trade, even sober. Yeah, everybody lost their minds on that. And whatever. I mean, you were happy. I was happy. But because everybody, even Rosalie Michaels says, no, that's a fine trade. But since everybody else lost their minds, rescinded the trade. And I think I gave you something, or there was something that happened. I gave you even more than I needed to. I can't remember how it all panned out. But yeah, I don't trade anymore after that. So let me ask you a question, Keon. So the Angels, right? The Angels, that hapless team that's worse than the Diamondbacks in a lot of years. And that team that is in Anaheim that has wasted the career of Mike Trout and the career of Shohei Ohtani. And here, I remember about the trade deadline, Ohtani's like, well, let's see what's going to go on here. He's kind of looking around. And Angels say, listen, stay with us. And we're going to make a run at this thing. And Ohtani's like, yeah. And so they go out and they get a couple of guys and they're like, all right, we're in. We're 100% in. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, and they've waived almost everybody on the team. They've just given up completely. They have cleaned house. Giolito, Lopez, Leon, Greek, Grikic. I don't know how to say his name. Anyways, all these guys, got picked up. And now it's just getting damn ridiculous over there. So the question here is the Angels do a salary dump, and you got Giolito and Renfroe put on waivers. the hell is going to happen? Does Shohei Ohtani understand this business?
I'm pretty sure he does. I don't think he's sticking around. I think that they're going to try and move as much money around to give themselves the finances to try and make a run at him. But if he doesn't injure himself and make it worse, which we've been concerned about that, if that doesn't happen, he's not going to make the money that he was going to make, but he's going to still get paid a nice chunk of change, I think. And I think the Angels want to make that push to try and bring Shohei Ohtani back. He shouldn't do it. He has said that he wants to be on a team that can win a championship. Obviously, I think that the Angels have proven for his entire time there and Mike Trout's entire baseball life as a professional that that's not what they do over there. And they try, but they put money in the wrong places sometimes. They spend money on guys that are over the hill. That they've just never been able to get this thing right. And this should be more proof that they went out. They did actually try to make a push to try and see if they could be a playoff team. And once you make the playoffs, who knows what happens? And they once again made all the wrong moves for a bunch of guys that can't help.
So the Angels, have an owner named Artie Moreno, and are they screaming for him to sell the team? Kind of like we do Hendricks for, the Diamondback situation. Do the fans of the Angels realize how either inept or just completely disconnected the Angels seem to be from figuring out how to put a winning team on the field?
I mean, that I have to imagine. Yes. I don't know.
I haven't heard one word about anything like that. In fact, I don't know any Angels fans.
I don't know any either. I've met literally not a one. So I have no idea. Everybody I know that's from California likes the Dodgers or the Giants or the Padres. I've never met an Angels fan.
Moist one says Moreno is already in the process of selling.
Okay, so
you
maybe
mean players or the actual team?
I guess in the context of what we were talking about, I think the actual team.
I didn't see anything about
that. I didn't see anything about it either. But I'll look into that there in a second. I just have to imagine if you're a fan of that team and you've just seen Mike Trout, who is literally one of the best baseball players of my entire life, and maybe the best baseball player that's ever played in my entire life. And his career has amounted to no rings, no championships, no playoff appearances, no runs no divisional anything, no league anything. Like he hasn't been able to do it. We haven't been able to see one of the most talented baseball players ever because his team couldn't put him on the stage that would make that possible. And I can't imagine that the fan base doesn't know that that's what's going on.
Fifth Letter says, I've been wanting to get rid of Artie. He sucks. He was supposed to leave this past year, but then he didn't. So let me ask you a question, Fifth Letter. You're an Angels fan? Do you also have stigmata? Do you get like the little barbed wire thing and hit yourself in the back like the people do in the movies?
I imagine the process of watching the Angels play baseball is that. I can't imagine you'd need to put more damage on yourself like that. That seems bad enough because they spend the money. They're not like some of these other teams out there, like the A's or whatever, that they're cheap and they don't want to spend money. The A's are willing to spend the money. They just spend it in all the wrong places all the time.
So, it's stupidity. There's a big chunks of stupidity, not just odd, careless collusion. I don't know.
And if your general manager can't do that and you keep hiring people that can't fill out rosters, like that's just, I don't even know how that's possible.
So yesterday people were texting in something to the show and I thought it was a joke. I didn't really know what they were talking about, but then I saw the story and that actually did happen. Some weird crap happened at the Chicago White Sox game last Friday. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Major League Baseball, the Diamondbacks in Los Angeles to continue their series with the Dodgers. Los Angeles minus a 1.5 plus 112 on the run line. Diamondbacks getting a 1.5 minus 134. On the money line, the Diamondbacks are plus 152. The Dodgers are minus 180 with an over-under of 9.5. NFL, the Arizona Cardinals will open up the regular season on September 10th as they take on the Washington Commanders in D.C. Washington, a 7-point favorite, minus 330 on the money line. The Cardinals plus 265. The over-under is at 38.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Wake up, people. You are optimizing every waking hour of your life. From carpooling kids to work to friends and everything in between. You have to get sleep and a bed that can perform as well as you do. Meet the next generation Sleep Number Smart Bed. It effortlessly adjusts to your shape, position, and movements, learning how you sleep so you learn to sleep better night after night. Sleep next level, only from Sleep Number.
Don't miss our Labor Day special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your, so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
Barry Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Fifth letter says, I was at game 6 in Anaheim back in 02 when we won it all against Frisco. You guys won the World Series after the Diamondbacks did? Yeah. Man, that was many years. When's the last time the Angels were any damn good? Same time, I guess, the Diamondbacks were any damn good.
Yeah, I mean, probably right around then. Yeah, I remember when they made the deal for Pujols. That was around the time that I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, and they haven't been good since then. At least
we were in SoCal doing the blender, and when the Angels they were on the same station, and when the Angels got Pujols, can you imagine? I had fun with that for weeks. His name is Pujol.
Good times. Fifth letter says pathetic. Two of the greatest players to play and no October baseball to show for it. I'm a diehard fan. Well, you hang in there, fifth letter. I don't know what happens next, but yay. So yesterday or the day before, people were texting in about this thing that happened in Chicago last Friday. I don't know if you've heard, but I guess there was a shooting at a Chicago White Sox game last Friday. Nobody died. So that's good, but 3 women in the stands got hit, possibly, they say, by one bullet. It's still not clear, and neither is much else about this, but here's what they're talking about. Chicago police don't think the gunfire came from inside the stadium at first. They said, it did, for sure. Then, we're not sure where it came from. And then things took a weird turn yesterday when a reporter for ESPN claimed it did come from inside the stadium, and that a woman had snuck the gun in by hiding it between some fat rolls. She was a big old lady. And they claim the metal detector did go off when she went through, but she got through security anyway. And then the Chicago police talked about it again. They says, well, there's a chance it came from the outside the stadium. But here's what we do know. It happened in the 4th inning in left center field bleachers. 3 women got hit. 2 were just grazed. The 42-year-old woman got shot in the leg. 26-year-old woman a few seats away got grazed in the stomach. And then a 31-year-old woman got nicked in the back. And she looked down and found a bullet lying there. In fact, she took a picture of it. The ESPN reporter claimed one of those first 2 women were the ones that brought the gun. And a doctor in the stand says, yeah, that 26-year-old stomach wound, it almost looked like a cigar burn. And so that made it sound like she had the gun tucked away in her belly and it went off. And that's why that burn was right there. Then the ESPN reporter also suggested the gun was in the shooter's pocket and went off when she jostled in her seat. Well, that doesn't make sense. Sounds like the doctor probably knew more he was talking about. So maybe the first woman shot herself in the leg. I don't know. How's that go through the stomach and make a burn? And no, it was a fat roll lady. And another report said that the women's clothes tested negative for gunshot residue. So who knows? This is all very, very confusing. But I go back to that doctor who says, yeah, a cigar burn on the stomach where she got shot. Well, that indicates that the muzzle of the gun would be right there. All we know for sure is Chicago police are facing a ton of heat for all the confusion. They didn't stop the game immediately. They didn't ask. They asked to have it stopped, but then they were like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't do this because it might cause a panic. And then, so they let the game finish, but the Vanilla Ice concert after the game, they did cancel that. So, some good news came from this. Yeah, and the Oakland A's ended up beating the White Sox 12-4. So they actually won the game. So anyways, just craziness right there.
Now, I don't know what to make of any of that.
How do you have a gun in a fat roll? How does it go off? I mean,
again, I have no idea. I'm trying to imagine how any of this would work. And not one little bit of it really makes any sense. And part of it is it does seem like the police have done a really bad job in handling this and what information they've released out and what information they haven't and where they've gone with the investigation publicly. Like something is so wrong here. And I can't tell what it is because I can't tell what's fact and what's fiction.
So on the outside of it, I can kind of start to tell you once somebody says, hey, it might be this, somebody else is covering for somebody else. And I think that the security guys, a lot of times security guys are off-duty police officers. And so it's a theory. And so the cops are like, oh, yeah, it wasn't anybody's fault. It was this thing. And they go, no, it came from the outside. So the cops on the inside who are working security don't get in trouble. And then somebody else is getting in trouble. So then the other person says, no, it has to be this. That's why all the different stories and confusions, because every time you turn around, if anybody is held accountable for this, somebody else steps up to try to divert that away. So nobody wants to take responsibility for the fact that somebody got through metal detectors and smuggled a gun into the stadium. That's my thinking.
I tend to think that you're right on that. That seems like it makes a ton of sense because you can't have basically 3 different contradictory stories and nobody can really tell where, which one's the truth. Was it snuck in by a fat roll or not? Did somebody shoot, a gun up in the air and then the bullet came down inside the stadium and hit somebody or not?
No, the angle of these things, there was no up in the air. This was horizontal.
Okay, so I mean, I have no idea. The coming from the outside does seem a little less likely that way.
Well,
but
what it sounds like is the fat roll lady had the gun in there. Maybe she tried to adjust it and accidentally pulled the trigger, went pat. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it got triggered. And then it grazed these other two. No, I didn't say, Jag Dog, that a fat woman was grazing when she was shot. I said a lady with a gun in her fat rolls, set off the gun that grazed the other two ladies. Maybe I don't know if there's another word for this that I can use, but
I feel like that's the word, though.
That's just grazing. Yeah. So the simplest explanation is probably the true one. And then that's what I just gave you.
And the thing is, that's already not a simple explanation. Like, it's the simplest of all the options we have. But even that's not a simple explanation, because there's so many more questions that pop up of like, well, so you mean so the gun went off when she went through security? Did they not check?
No, maybe they did. And she says, oh, I've got a titanium hip or something like that. Maybe she just sort of brushed it off. And they're like, yeah, all right. She doesn't look like trouble. And why would she need to have a gun hidden in the rolls of her candy coated flesh? I don't know. Why does she need that?
I don't know either. It's just, the reason why you'd hide it there is just to get through security. Like, you would assume if it's hidden that way,
it is Chicago.
They're not going to check. But But what did she bring it in for? If nobody has a gun inside the stadium, it's not like you need protection from all the other people that don't have guns.
It's not safe to leave in your car. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to help.
I don't know, unless she's just thinking about the Chris Rock rule about going into the club when there's security and they make you, and you go through a metal detector, then you know that everybody outside the club knows that everybody inside the club doesn't have a gun. That's as close to that line of logic as I can possibly think. But you're walking into a parking lot full of people who don't have guns. It doesn't. I don't get it.
Moist one seems to think it might be Tim Anderson's new bodyguard. Well, that actually could make sense. That could make sense. Yeah. Well, whatever the case, that's what happened, and now at least I understand what everybody was texting in. So I was getting all these weird fat roll texts coming in, and I was like, well, that seems a bit fat shaming somebody. That didn't seem very nice. But now I get it.
But if it's literally that, I don't know how else you say it.
Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, I don't know if it's more likely to figure out who shot JFK or where this bullet came from. It's a magic bullet. I figured it out for you. Okay. I've done that. I figured it out for everyone. And because the doctor said about the cigar burn thing, very simple. I'm going with that. Until somebody tells me otherwise, that's what happened. Simple as that. Weird how it only hit women. Isn't it mostly dudes at a baseball game?
Yeah, but if it was a woman that had a gun, I mean, if she went with other people, I don't know. Like,
we don't know if these are her friends.
Yeah, or just other women that were just sitting nearby. Just a couple of women that went to the game together, or whatever. Just a group of friends. Who can say?
Jag Dog's like, I bet she had a nice smoke ring coming out of that big fold of her fat right there. She might not even be. Maybe she just had big bazungas. I don't know. I don't want to fat shame this lady. But if you can hide a gun in between parts of yourself,
there's enough.
Yeah,
there, I suppose.
I ain't thin, but I ain't smuggle a gun in between folds fat,
and have it stay. Like, you have to walk, and then security you have to go in, and a metal detector has to go off, and then security has to do the thing where they double check you, and then you have to be able to say, look, that I have like a metal joint or whatever. Like that is.
I may not be thin, but I don't have a spot on my body that I feel like I could actually smuggle a weapon in. I know Moist One's going to suggest one immediately, but I ain't putting nothing in there. So
much less a firearm, Moist One. Don't even start that line of thought.
I don't have, even if I were to use the prison wallet, I don't have room in the prison wallet.
This is the Minority Report. We're getting ahead of you, and we are stopping your crime before it even starts
by committing them. Anyway, so let's change to something more wholesome before this gets out of control. So I didn't know this, and I think it's really cool that this is happening. But I guess the AIA has put together 24 high school flag football teams for girls. And it just started up. I mean, that's amazing. I'm very happy to hear this. They approved girls flag football as an official sport late last year. And this fall is the inaugural season. There's going to be actually 55 teams in 2 different conferences. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, okay. So even of the 24 high schools, there's more than one team. Is that what that is? So anyway, that's awesome. And I guess over at Mountain View High School, little Kyler Murray showed up sort of to kick things off and said, hey, have fun and everything. It was all of this was a very cool and positive experience. And, there's this girl from Sandra Day O'Connor High School. Her name is Mia Maldonado. And she's like, I always wanted to be a quarterback. I've dreamed of always playing football. And she says, now I really get to live that out. So that's this is an awesome way, to include. And I think it's great. I think it's great. One of these days, we got to have a girl in the NFL. We had that girl from Basha, who's a kicker. And she's Becca something or another. I can't remember now. But she was a heck of a kicker, and she got a scholarship to college kicking football. And we're like, wow, it'd be cool to see if she shows up in the NFL. And guess what? The NFL could use some kickers right about now. It is not easy to find a good and consistent kicker in the NFL.
Tell me about it.
I hope she shows up. Let me tell you about it. You got a problem on the Commandos or your fantasy team?
Commandos, man. Joey Sly is our kicker, and he did well in the preseason this year, but last year he missed so many kicks inside of 30. It was infuriating. And they had a kicking competition, and he won it this year, but he misses some more kicks like that. I mean, he's just not going to have a job.
It all shakes out. There's guys who aren't on teams who'd probably be a pretty good kicker.
It shakes out, but like it costs you games. It does cost you games first before it shakes out.
Sure can. Navy Brad says, here's a theory about the lady with the gun in the fat roll. Maybe the lady with the extra skin there placed the gun under a skin roll years ago, and she forgot it was there until it went off.
Seems unlikely.
Mama Cass knew that sandwich was there, and she choked on it. So I don't know, Navy Brad. I mean, that's probably not it. I'm guessing no. Big George says Kyler Murray showed up to Mountain View High School. Yeah.
And he was barely taller than them girls, man. I saw that. I saw the video of him walking out there.
Same thing.
And I was just like, wow, these are high school girls. And he was taller, but he was barely. And I mean, barely. And his hair was doing some of the squeaking him by there.
I wasn't going to say anything. I saw that video. I wasn't going to say anything. And even at an angle, the camera shot at an angle didn't help him out.
It didn't. Nothing did. I was like, wow, that is telling.
George, I don't think he converted to Mormonism. I don't think that's why he was at Mountain View High School. I don't think that's necessary to be allowed on campus. I was one of 7 non-Mormons at that school, so I should know better. 888-368-1580. So honestly, I think this is the best. I'm glad that they're finally getting in the game. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, listen, we got a few more things to talk about, but we've got 2 hours of football after that. Now, yesterday we started the show with football and ended with this stuff. We're about done with this stuff, and we're going to get to the football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to My Computer Career and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. MyComputerCareer.edu.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable, even if your clients move to another state. The program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
When life gets overwhelming, help is only a phone call away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available 24/7 at 844-534-HOPE to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please call 844-534-HOPE from anywhere in Arizona. Call 844-534-HOPE now or text the word HOPE to 4HOPE 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and this hour is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS is celebrating 30 years with a special football season offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. It's called Bet Protect. You can get started today at betus.com. Hey, look, Ralph just joined us here on the Daily Blender. I was telling everybody, Ralph, that Randy is part of the team that works the mechanics, the computers, and the puppetry for Mitch McConnell, and he froze up again today, so he had to go out and try to troubleshoot what the hell is going on there. So he'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, Randy's a giver.
That's what he does.
Yeah,
he just gives. And all right, we've already talked about the whole Dodgers thing, so you don't got to say a damn word. You don't got to say a damn word. It's been
too
covered.
bad you missed it.
The only word I have is, was it 13 now? 13 and a half? What is it?
It
Sweet
ain't over
today?
yet, Ralph. It
No,
ain't over.
No, it's over.
Well, I mean, it ain't over. We could catch up. You could lose some, we could win some, and you could still end up in first place 9 games ahead. I just don't want you to end up being right on that. But,
okay.
That
makes sense.
Everything else, yeah.
That makes sense. I understand.
888-368-1580. Let's clean up the text line here, and we'll go on to the next thing. Moist One says, I don't know if I should read that one. Yep. No, I'm going to move on. Navy Brad says, Kyler Murray was there to pass out his brand of sports bras to the girls. Well, that's funny.
It's a heart monitor.
Yeah, that looks like a sports bra.
But like he's not the only one that wears it.
It's dual purpose.
Joe Burrow's had one. Like I don't know.
Keon, don't think I won't mock everybody who wears one. It looks like a bra. It does. Why can't you make it look like a t-shirt? It's what are they doing?
Well, I don't know. Blame the company that made it.
That's what I'm happy to do that. Don't be so sensitive. Are you wearing one?
No.
All right.
I don't need a heart monitor. So.
But now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
A heart monitor?
No.
Yes. Those are probably expensive though if they're being worn by NFL players.
They are very expensive.
Oh, you've priced them at least.
Well, no, there is no price, but it's just like they just listed a bunch of leagues that use it, and I was like, okay,
There's no price.
If they're
you don't
buying,
have your health.
if they're buying it, then they're not selling it to the NFL and all these other leagues for cheap. I know that.
Rough Rob says that morning show host you guys have is delusional. He compared the Orioles to my Dodgers.
That is delusional.
Is it?
Very
They have the best record in baseball.
delusional. No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, the Braves do.
Oh, that's right. Where are the Braves there? Oh, that's right. But
I
they're
just
right.
like
they're,
that it's not the Dodgers.
they're right after the Braves and ahead of the Dodgers.
By half game because they played one more game.
Okay, but it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not crazy to compare them
No,
if
it is
they're
because-
within a half game of each other.
You're right, but you can because they're playing the best baseball they've ever played, and the Dodgers are actually struggling.
Well,
so,
yeah, but they're talking about this season.
you're
This
at your-
season,
that's like saying you're at your best when I'm at my worst.
they're
So-
playing in a tougher division than the Dodgers are playing.
Oh my God.
Is the AL East not a tougher division than the National League West right now?
Right now, right this second?
This year.
Right this second. Yeah, maybe a little.
But that's what the comparison was for this year. No one is comparing them all time. Obviously, the Orioles stink.
Somebody's beloved Yankees are in that division. So
Who likes the Yankees?
you, of course.
I hate the Yankees. What are you talking about?
Somebody's most hated Yankees are at the bottom of said division.
You know, my expectations for the Diamondbacks have been realistic this year, and the fact that the Diamondbacks will end up having a better year than the Yankees is good enough for me. And the fact that the Yankees fans are hurting and in pain from this is good enough for me. So I'm okay. You know, nothing you're going to say, Ralph, is going to make me feel
No,
bad.
The Diamondbacks are still in the playoff picture. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
it is amazing. I mean, they look like they're lost puppies playing the Dodgers because, I mean, they just don't understand how teams can just destroy them like that. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah, don't act like you're all big shot with the Dodgers, because the Dodgers, up until this series, the Diamondbacks had been, they split the series and they won the series last two times they played. So
you're one of those guys that wins a race after the first 5 seconds. I get it. Okay.
yeah, because that's all that
Not
matters.
at the finish line. That's
If I have a picture of me ahead of you, that's the one that gets posted.
That's smart.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? All right. I'm trying to sort out some things here. Fifth letter says, Ralph, what did you think about our USC defense? I'll tell you what, I'm nervous again this year for that defense.
I think there's a lot of transfers that are just getting to feel for each other, and it's going to take a few games. So don't get nervous yet. Let them kind of, play a few games together. They got Nevada next. They'll destroy Nevada, and they'll kind of find their rhythm, and I think they'll be okay. But the offense, holy moly, they look amazing. Caleb Williams is ridiculous.
You take care of that Cardinals quarterback.
They got a freshman that looks like Reggie, the second coming of Reggie Bush.
No
He's
kidding.
Unbelievable. I mean, just
someone
ridiculous.
said he was basically just, as far as on the field goes, Tyreek Hill part 2. It's just he's just stupid.
He's
fast.
ridiculous. And he's a true freshman. He's ridiculous. He ran a 96-yard kickoff return back and just made people look stupid.
Well, future players. I think the Colts will be looking for a running back. So, that might be nice. Keep them players healthy. Bruno Baller says there's only 117 more days to shop for Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So for Keon, he's like, oh yeah, that's good. For guys like Ralph and I with kids, it's like, oh God, no, not again.
We have to shop for one person.
Yeah, my kids won't talk to me all year, but come Christmas time, they're around the house.
They sort of start to drift in.
Hey, Dad, your dad. Remember Dad? Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to be home for the holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at my house, what I don't have is a microwave. Okay, I get it. That's cool. Big George says, if you need a guest host when Randy's out, there's a lot better options than this Dodger-loving bandwagon fan, Sir Ralph.
When you started saying Dodger, I thought you were going to say douche, and I was like, oh no, not from Big George.
Oh, I could change it to Dodger douche.
Yeah,
I don't know. Moist One says $180, but they shape the body very well. Oh, the man's ears that heart monitor things. What do they call? What's the brand on that again? I might actually buy one. Walk around the house
with
with
it.
it.
Made by a company called Titillion.
Titillion?
Yeah, Titillion.
Okay.
I don't know that Kyle Titsworth kid should get in on that.
Titsworth. Love Titsworth. If I were going to wear a jersey with a man's name on it, it'd be Titsworth 69. Hell yeah.
It's my new college football favorite player.
Nice.
Hey, well, Keon looks up man bras.
Catapult heart rate monitor.
Catapult. That's
Even-
it. I
even
remember.
better. It brings it up.
Catapult. I don't. No, gotta let it go. Anyway, so I don't know if this is a draw for me, but there's a bar in Milwaukee that is offering to pay your tab every time Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets lose this season. Of course, there's a few rules that severely limit your ability to cash in on this thing, but here's how it works. Your tab must be opened at least 15 minutes before kickoff. So you got to be there, and it can't include food. So whatever your drinks are, that's what's covered. They're not saying you can't eat. They're just saying that they're only going to cover the booze, and you have to be there for the entire game. Aaron must be starting, obviously, but there's a real kicker. Jets games played at the same time as Packer games don't count. And that only happens 4 times this season.
No.
And the deal also excludes top shelf liquor. There's a lot of rules
There's,
on
a,
this
there's a
thing.
lot of rules, but man, that's genius.
It was almost a great idea. It was almost perfect. If you just made that a little more simple and made it every time the Jets play and every time the Jets lose.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think that they want just random people showing up when their Packers customers are showing up, because those people will show up anyway and pay and drink anyway. So they want that group of people to still show up and pay. But on the 4 games where Aaron Rodgers is playing, you get a bunch of people to show up for a Jets team that's probably going to win a good chunk of those games. They'll put a bunch of liquor on their tab, hoping that the Jets lose, and they probably won't. And then you just get a bunch of people to buy a bunch of booze.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that's a good way to go. But you've overcomplicated this, so now I'm not coming to your bar. I'm just not going to do it. Don't care
It's a
about
good thing that bar in Milwaukee was a place that you were going to, but now they won't have you as a customer in Milwaukee this year. In
Fair
Milwaukee.
enough. Chief Skull wants to know if Ralph can do the weather.
I can.
I'll do the weather.
It's freaking hot.
There you go. That's all you need to know. It's hot.
Freaking hot.
No, but later I'll do a weather forecast. I know the last time Randy wasn't in, and I sort of fumbled over a weather forecast, but I used to do the weather, so I'll do you a weather forecast a little bit later. I don't feel like
you look a little like Dr. George.
Dr. George.
Remember Dr. George Fishbeck in LA? No, okay.
No, I wasn't in LA. I was here.
You were in LA for a while.
I didn't live in LA. No, I mean I
thought you did.
I was in and out of LA doing things.
Oh,
but I didn't live
really?
there. No, I was doing stand up, man.
Sure, yeah.
Wasn't
doing things.
Wasn't delivering babies or running drugs or nothing. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says, what if the Jets got flexed into Sunday night, Thursday night a bunch of times and the bar goes under? Yeah, that's always a possibility. Big George says, Ralph, I would never call you a douche. Well,
I appreciate that.
He said that's too low even for me.
Appreciate that.
I'm sure I've called you a douche.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I'm positive I have. I mean,
like just last week.
Probably like within this conversation at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
Hey, so Tom Brady is he's all over the place. He's buying into teams. He's coming out of Raiders locker rooms. He's coming out, of hotel rooms with supermodels and stuff like that. He's kind of getting into the swing of sort of balancing his life. He's hanging out with his kids quite a bit, and then in the off time, he's hanging out, living the big life, driving around his Rolls Royce with Arena Sheik. I guess that how you say her name. And so this girl, this supermodel. Now here's the thing: does Tom Brady know that he's not exclusive with her? Because she was with Tom Brady. Remember when they came out of that hotel room 48 hours later? You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady and Arena Sheik. Well, now she's apparently hanging out with her ex-boyfriend, Bradley Cooper. Can you imagine you're like Tom Brady? You're like, nobody can take the girl from me. Oh, crap. It's Bradley Cooper. And, she posted a bunch of photos on her Instagram showing her all scantily clad doing supermodel stuff with rocks. I don't know. And another image was like of Bradley Cooper lying there all stretched out and oiled up and bare chested on a kayak. And it's all the same vacation. So, they're hanging out there. So I guess, she was with Bradley Cooper. They broke up in 2019. As soon as Tom Brady came in the picture, spends 48 hours in a London hotel room with her. Next thing you know, they're out on the beach together. And Bradley Cooper, who's an Eagles fan, I think that's what it is. He's like, oh, hell no, you don't, Tommy. He came back in the picture to try to get that girl back. Not because he wanted her, because he didn't want Tom Brady to have her. That is my theory.
I think it was to make Bradley Cooper jealous.
I think it was to make Tom Brady suffer. Whatever the case.
I just don't think she cares enough.
I don't know what the hell is happening here, but I think Bradley Cooper and Tom Brady either need to fight or come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? They need to have a conversation. They're Eskimo brothers now. So I think there can be peace in this land, or they should just fight. I don't know. It's hour 1 down and 2 to go. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your, so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks Vapor Rub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub. Cough relieving is believing.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm Tom Horn, Arizona Schools Chief. My job is to encourage excellence in public schools, and Arizona does have excellent public schools. But if your school is not meeting your child's needs, Arizona has adopted Empowerment Scholarship accounts. The accounts help parents pay for any school of their choice.
Everybody's have a fair chance at education.
It has afforded us the opportunity to be able to educate in the way that we see fit as parents.
Learn more at azed.gov.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown. BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right
now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but Ralph from Harmon Solar is here. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And before the end of the last hour, we were talking about how Tom Brady and Bradley Cooper, I don't know, they're fighting over the same woman, or I don't know what's going on. But, 1 minute she's hanging out with Tom Brady, and the next minute she's hanging out with the Bradley Cooper. Obviously she's a gal who likes to slum it, but it just, I don't know what the hell's going on there. I mean, you know what it is? Can I tell you what it is? Tom Brady's a dork. He's might be a great looking guy, and the women see him, and they're like, oh, Tom Brady. And then if you talk to him for any amount of time, I'm sure that when they went to that hotel room in London, he probably had some action figures with him. And he was probably like, can we play with these? Yeah. He's like, you know what he is? He's like Tom Hanks from the movie Big. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think Tom Brady is like. When the cameras are gone, that's him. But Kraken Jack says, well, between Tom Brady and Bradley Cooper, Jeffrey, wouldn't that be a sword fight? No. It's not going to be a sword fight. Eskimo brothers means that they are two guys who have been with the same woman. But a sword fight, Tom Brady is way too square to ever get involved in something like that. Yeah, I don't think he wouldn't. No, that's not a Tom Brady thing. It will not be a sword fight. Fighting Wampa says, sounds to me like Tom Brady's involved in a throttle. Throttle? What the hell's a throttle? Thruple? I think you mean thruple. There's a couple, and if there's three, it's a thruple. It's a love triangle, maybe? I don't know. She kind of sounds a bit like a hose bag, don't she? You know what I mean? Wow. Well, I mean, 1 minute she's hanging out in 48 hours in a hotel room with Tom Brady. Next thing you know, she's on a sweaty, sexy vacation with Bradley Cooper. Well, not too long after,
that's like people go back and forth between
that
their ex
quickly
and other people.
Tom Brady better not go. He's like, let that one go, man. Let that one go.
I don't know.
Do you want Tom Brady STDs or actor STDs? Which ones do you think are probably going to be worse, Keon?
First off, how the hell would I know? Second of all,
supermodel STDs is actually the answer. Just saying.
That was the right answer, Keon.
This was a real question. I didn't realize I had to answer it seriously.
I don't know. I had a lot of M&Ms a minute ago. 888-368-1580. Could be. Big George says, Ralph, here's a reference for you. Oh, brother. Says Jeffrey is a natural weatherman, just like Johnny Mountain and Dallas Raines.
See, he's got his LA stuff down.
You want me to do the weather? I'll show you how good we have the weather music there, Keon. I can do the weather.
I've actually been looking for it. I don't know where it is.
I don't even need music. That's how good I am. Right now, it is 109 hot damn degrees out there. Wind is 6 miles an hour out of the northwest. Going to be an overnight low of 95 degrees. Tomorrow, you're looking at a 93% chance of rain and a high of 108, which means humidity and some monsoon storms coming in. Friday, F you and your percentage, says the weather. It's 100% chance of rain and a 99-degree day. So cooler, yes. Stormy, yes. Rain, you bet your ass. And that's the weather here on 1580, the Fanatic.
That's pretty good.
Wasn't very Dallas Raines or George Fisher.
It was Jeffrey O. Effin Bryan. That's what that was.
George would know the reference in LA. If you grew up in LA, you always heard the term late night and early morning low clouds. Very common reference. I know
late
you know that
night and early morning low
clouds. Because if you live on the coast like that, you always have those late night and those early morning low clouds that burn off by the afternoon.
Here, it's just this is the temperature now. This is the temperature night. This is the temperature tomorrow. Go do something with yourself.
Late night, we don't have clouds. Early morning, we still don't have bleeping clouds. We don't have clouds in Phoenix. They do not exist.
Well, they do in the afternoon. They'll roll in, and then you're like, ooh, rain? And they're like, no, F you, rain. We're out of here. They're gone. It's very rare.
That's different.
Just to bring some nice humidity just long enough to leave before it actually results in water from the sky.
888-368-1580. Straight Striper says, I'm down at the Tempe Dave and Buster's. Jack Daniels, it's been free if you tell them to
put it on 1580's tab. I guess they still have your tab open down here. Randy told me it was okay, but disappeared about an hour ago because he said he had to go back to work tomorrow. Did he just stick me with the bill? What the hell is going on over there? Is that, I thought what? Randy needs to get his ass back to work. Hamilton Porter says, if you've never looked up what the forecast app is on your phone, I highly recommend it. It's a good laugh. It's like WTF, what the forecast. So that's a weather thing. Yeah, that's a good, I'll look it up a little bit later. Tron Slater says, with all this Cardinals issues, I found solace in this sports fact. In 104 seasons, the Cardinals have won only 7 playoff games out of 10 postseason appearances. This is probably the worst perennial losing sports franchise in American history. So with these, I don't expect anything good long-term from Bidwell's team. Wait, how do you find solace in that? How is that making you feel better? That made me feel worse.
You know, it's going to make Cardinal fans feel even worse. I heard you guys yesterday, and you were kind of beating up Randy about the whole tank thing.
I was beating up the Cardinals.
Being honest.
Yeah, but, it was funny. I mean, beating up Randy too. He was kind of trying to defend it, which it's not defensible. But the funny part is, Caleb Williams has already come out and said, I haven't made my decision if I'm coming out yet. And one of the factors will be what team to go to, among other things. He may not come out. So you may be tanking for Drake May.
Phoenix, your team is so bad. A guy is like, oh, hell no, with millions of dollars. I'm staying in school.
Well, I don't know, because
I don't want to be on that team.
I remember when the Bengals were clearly going to be the number 1 overall pick, and people thought, oh boy, Joe Burrow, does he want to go play for them? And then he came and he made them better. Like, I think if you have a guy that's actually scared to be drafted by a team, do you want that guy? And I don't think Caleb Williams is that, by the way. I
don't blame the guy. I don't blame him for feeling that way.
Because the Bengals haven't changed management. They are still the same organization that they were before Joe got there. What took them to the Super Bowl? Joe. So like
plain.
But they had more around them.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams is walking into
nothing. But Jamar Chase didn't come until after Joe.
Yeah.
You know,
I get that.
Joe came behind an offensive line that's what? That offensive line
about
still
this,
bad.
Keon. Think about this. This is not how the Bengals got their guy. The Bengals didn't seem to tank. They just legit stank, had some good pieces, but they didn't do it on purpose. What you'll have here is Caleb Williams going, great. So if I get drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, I'm going to show up into a locker room that is toxic because the vets are going to be looking at the coach like, F you for wasting a year of my life. And we went out there and put our bodies and our lives on the line every time, and you didn't mean it. And that is going to be a dead ass locker room. You have to clean house. And you think Caleb Williams is going to want to walk in there and have that be his first season?
I wouldn't blame him for saying no. I'm simply saying that is how GMs look at that. They want a guy that's a competitor. They want a guy that thinks that he can go in and be the X factor at that, especially at the quarterback position, that turns a franchise around. And if you have a guy that's scared to go, that just does not look good. Now, I do think that there are other factors involved with him wanting to stay. He could just like college. He's making a lot of NIL money. Yep. There is no urgency financially to leave there.
Is it more than what he's going to get for his first year in the NFL?
I mean,
he's probably going to make what, 9-10 million this year.
It's going to be damn close.
Comparable, then yeah.
So he loves college.
Yeah, and I think I go back to Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck wasn't concerned with who was going to be drafting number 1. He didn't care. But he liked being in college. It was fun for him. You know, he had friends. He wasn't ready to leave yet. He was working on his degree. And if that's the case for Caleb Williams, when he's done at the end of this season, he could just be like, you know what? I'll run it back a senior year. Say they have a real shot at going to a national championship and they fall short, but he thinks that team is going to be good enough to try again. He might just do that.
To that point, that's a really good point. I think there's 2 things. Number one, if he wins the Heisman again this year, he could come back to try to be the only guy to win 3 in a row, which would be amazing. And secondarily, that team that they have this year, if you look at the talent, especially the true freshmen on offense,
stupid.
They're going to make a run this year and they have a shot. But if they don't win it this year, no one's going to stop them next year with Caleb Williams because they're going to be unbelievable. They'll be better than the Cardinals. They're going to be ridiculous.
Isn't that interesting that before the risk was to stay in college? Now there is comparable possible money
to stay in college.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the NFL like, well, I don't want to go there.
Because people thought Luck was crazy when he went back
Yeah.
to Stanford for that second year. Like, yeah, if you break your leg, this thing's over. Well, now if you do, I mean, you've got enough money in the bank.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest deal in the world to take a year and recover and try and come back again.
And if he's watching the Cardinals play this year and watches whoever it is at quarterback just get destroyed, because that's what I think is going to happen. I think you all think that too.
Yeah.
He's going to look at that and go, why in the heck would I want to go into that next year? That would make no sense. And I have a feeling, I really do. And like you've been saying it, it's going to be a total, crap
Bleep show.
It's going to be a bleep show this year. And I think it's going to be all over. And he's going to see that and go, do I really want to enter that? I don't think I do. But what would really suck is if he stays the next year and then they're still the worst team and he gets drafted by them again.
like Monty Austin Park just goes, you know what? I'll tank again.
Yeah.
You know what? They might not be having this fear if maybe Gannon didn't seem so effing awkward when they were asking him about, well, how come you haven't picked a quarterback yet? Why'd you get rid of McCoy? If they hadn't been so blatant about what they're doing, Williams might have been like, yeah, okay, I'll go over the Cardinals. I can understand why Kyler didn't work out because he's 3.5 feet tall. That's cool. We'll get this going. And maybe he'll be like, I want to show up and I'll be like Joe Burrow. I want to show up and I'm gonna take that money. And if they hadn't have acted the way they just did in the last week, there was a chance Caleb Williams would have showed up. Now, I would not be surprised if he said, if you draft me first, I'm not going.
I really think they've lost some respect. I actually was starting to feel a little respect toward the GM and the coach. And when they did that, they lost a ton of respect because that's just horrible what they did. Colt McCoy was your best chance, your best player. These are best chance to win on the offensive side. How do you do that?
And I understand you're not actually trying to win, but you owe it to the guys in that locker room to at least go through the motions of pretending. You can't cut Colt like that. You just can't, because you're never going to convince me that Clayton Tune and Josh Dobbs are actually better options. You are insane if you really think that, or you're just a really diehard fan and you got your Cardinals red glasses on and you can't see anything else, which is understandable, but I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it, and nobody else in the league does either.
It's as if I was like, all right, we're going to do the cannonball run, guys. Ralph, you in. Yeah. Keon, you can navigate. All right. Randy, you bring the food. Yeah, let's do that. And you show up in the parking lot and you're like, all right, everybody, we're going to win this race. Get in the Hyundai. You're like, but there's a perfectly good challenger right over there. Come on, we'll do fine over here. With a straight face trying to tell you we're going to win any kind of a race in a Hyundai. So, yeah, the Cardinals, the credibility just plummeted on that.
I mean, if I'm a season ticket holder, I'm pretty pissed.
If I'm a player, I'm pissed.
Because that too, but imagine
I'm going to be throwing my body for a full NFL season into a damn meat grinder. Yeah. And the coach doesn't seem to care whether or not we win or lose games. That you can't have that appearance. You just can't. It's going to be trouble in that locker room. I'm telling you.
The Jet may have the talking points for the Cardinals to try to talk Caleb Williams into playing. He says Cardinals have a ton of picks next year, along with a lot of space. They're going to build a decent team next year for the following year. So Jet is saying, are the talking points of saying, listen, Caleb Williams, we have a lot of picks. We'll make sure we get a good team around you. And we have a lot of cap space. We can bring in some good veteran, players and receivers, some targets for you. And we will have the team that you're hoping that you'll have in your first year. The only hope they have is for somebody to have that conversation with them to try to get him to enter the draft. That's it. What else can they do if they want to get Caleb Williams?
It's going to be a tough
conversation. For me, it's just like, look, you take the quarterback that's there. That's just you're trying to build for just Caleb Williams. If you don't know how many games you're even going to lose and that you're actually even going to get that pick, just, try to go through the season being respectable, and however many games you win is however many games
do they even win a game? Do they win a game this year?
No.
I don't see it. Who are they going to beat?
I gave them maybe 2, 3 if they really tried. You took Colt McCoy out of the picture.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't see it. And we're not trying to be like hot takers here.
No, not
there
at
ain't
all.
no Skip Bayless on this dais. I mean, we're just telling you what we honestly think.
I think because it's the NFL and because you actually do, even though they're not great players, you do have NFL players on your roster. If the team has a bad week and you have a good week, and they've
but
had the
Detroit
special,
Lions when they lost everything, the Browns when they lost every game. Yeah, it's
like a week
totally
three,
doable.
It's
Keon.
like a week 3 preseason squad against NFL teams.
Yeah, and
that's
I
what it's
just,
gonna look like.
and that's the thing is like
It's
I
good
was looking at
comparison.
the rosters the other day to try and see like, is this Cardinals team as bad as those 0-16 Browns, as bad as those 0-16 Lions? And it's hard to tell. It's hard
They
to
won't-
tell. And those 0-16 Browns were really close to winning a game. And
They
if Hugh
scraped
Jackson,
off the top of the defense. They totally scraped off the head of your offense. I mean,
if Hugh Jackson were a better
absolutely.
coach, we'd have the story of the 1-15 Browns. It's I can't say for absolute certain they're going to win no games. Like that's a hard thing to say in the NFL.
Certain no, but
week
likely yes.
Week 1, they don't score a point.
I don't think it's likely. No, that's true.
They won't. They will not score on the
I
Commanders. week 1.
I hope everybody in fantasy football is streaming the Washington defense this first week.
I drafted the Washington defense. By the way, with the second to last pick, I was stunned they were still there, given they were playing the Cardinals first. But okay,
Yeah.
I just think that
I auto drafted
that team. It's one of the worst rosters in the sport, and so it's just hard. I don't want to say, because I don't want to be disrespectful to actual NFL guys, to say they're not winning any games and that it's actually likely that they won't win any. But I don't think they're winning more.
It takes
than
the fun
2.
out of trolling them. I can't even troll them this year. There's no fun in it.
There's not going to be entertainment.
there's just- I won't even
It's
talk
going to
about
be no joy.
I got to buy my wife some Charger
And
t-shirts.
Randy was saying we were laughing at him. And like, no, I'm not. I
We're
don't.
being honest. We should probably just not talk about it when he's around.
Yeah, just
I hate to crush
because
the
it
spirit.
sounds like you're rubbing it in, but it's not. What I was laughing at was the idea that Jonathan Gannon is serious about this. Like I'm laughing at that as an idea, and I hope that he knows he's not serious too. I really hope so.
When we start our Thursday pick'ems, if he does a big rant about the Cardinals, I'm sorry, I can't stay quiet.
Boy, I don't know. I feel like he's going to be drunk a lot. That's all I can figure. Mr. Wilbur says, "Wow, sounds like Ralph is there. All I hear is blah 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 blah. Sea chickens, blah 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 blah. Sea chickens, blah blah blah. Dumb duggers, blah blah blah." Kiss the Cook says, "Sir Romano is on." Well, there goes 3 hours of my entertainment.
That's what my wife says.
He
sometimes.
says,
That's
"Guess
funny.
I'll have a DIY colonoscopy kit right here. Kind of go do that. Let's do it."
Wow,
that's
unbelievable.
Uncomfortable. Straight Striper says, "Yeah, I already read that. I already read that about the Tempe Dave and Buster's there." Coom says, "So you're telling me Kingsbury can get a championship?" Well, that is just that's just.
Well, he might mean with USC.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. That's why that's
But
just sickening to
As,
hear.
as an assistant, I mean,
yeah, but they still give him a pewter ring.
They do, but it's not the same, and we all know it.
Keith Skull says it was reported they cut Colt McCoy because he was struggling to make throws down the field.
And so they brought in Josh Dobbs.
They're like, if Colt McCoy can't throw an 80-yard pass, he's got no place on the Cardinals.
And
Get
so
outta
they
here.
brought in Josh Dobbs. Now, I've seen Josh Dobbs, and I like the dude. Okay, he played at Tennessee. I watched all those games. He's a good dude. That's not a big arm.
We got to take a break. We got a bunch of people texting in on the text line about this, so we'll come back to it in a moment. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
You know that Big Burger detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
If you're an agent or broker in group benefits, get ready to learn about an exciting and innovative new program to offer your clients. Eternal Benefit is now offering the first pre-planning program that's available as a payroll deduction and allows benefits for the entire family. Our pre-planning program can include coverage for yourself, your spouse, plus your immediate family, including parents, children, grandparents, and even aunts, uncles, and cousins. Looking for a great reason to contact your clients? This is it. No more meetings where you have nothing new to offer. Eternal Benefit plans lock in and provide for funeral and burial expenses, regardless of price increases. Employees can now take care of their family member without pressure. Choose from hundreds of funeral homes and cemeteries. Plans are completely transferable. Even if your clients move to another state, the program pays some of the highest commissions in the group benefits area. Find out more. Go to eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574. Eternalbenefit.com. That's eternalbenefit.com or call 602-315-2574.
It's the middle of summer when your AC stops working and your safe haven becomes unforgiving terrain.
Why must get to water? Honey, call someone to fix our AC unit.
I did, and they're already here.
How long was they out?
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
There are many questions to be answered for the Arizona Cardinals this preseason. Who will lead the Redbirds at quarterback when the season starts?
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
How well does this team adapt to a new offensive scheme? How will the new faces contribute to helping this team compete?
Everybody working.
When it comes to Arizona Cardinals training camp,
Here we go.
we talk about it. Your home for the NFL, playoffs, and Super Bowl 58. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and I feel bad. I feel bad talking about the Arizona Cardinals this way. My good friend Randy White is a fan since the beginning. My wife is a fan, and but you just can't ignore the way Gannon has talked to the press. You can't ignore all the different moves that they have done, not just on offense, but on defense. And I hate this. I don't normally even give a damn, but my friend and my wife are fans, and I hate to see this for them. I hate to see this for the people who listen to this radio program who are also fans of the Arizona Cardinals. And, again, we're not piling on to be jerks. It's just so blatant and obvious that this is a team that's going to now struggle to bring free agents in because they're doing this. They can't be taken seriously right now. And so, if they get Caleb Williams still to come and show up, then maybe you can get some free agents who want to play with him. But as it is, man, the credibility and the likability of the Arizona Cardinals is just kind of hit a new low. It just got ugly here. It's not as bad as the Browns. The Browns, the way they did their business, but it ain't good.
Yeah, I think that the Browns were really bad, though. I do think that was also helped by. I don't think Hugh Jackson was trying to tank. I just think that he was legitimately not a great head coach, and they were in a year where like Deshaun Kaiser was an option at quarterback, and Hugh Jackson really liked him. Like that was a real thing. So I don't know. Then you look at some of the stuff with the Colts, for instance. Like Jim Irsay in the middle of the season hires Jeff Saturday to be his coach. Sounds insane, but it's so on brand for Jim Irsay. You almost have to believe like he sincerely means that. So there's stuff like that you can kind of hide it a little bit. I've just never seen a team do this so blatantly and out in the open. It's borderline disrespectful to everybody involved in this team, fans, players, and everybody else.
There is a plan that the Arizona Cardinals have, and they're following it, but I don't think everybody's happy about it. Chief Skoll says, well, Dobbs can scramble out of the pocket compared to Colt McCoy. They're going to need more mobility than what McCoy provides with the O-line stinking. Well, here's the thing about that. Dobbs looks like a pretty good guy to be a backup for specifically Kyler Murray. But that's it. But Kyler Murray's not going to be around. Now, 4 weeks from now or 4 months from now, there was a thing that somebody had posted up. And I'm not sure how much validity I'm really ready to give it, but they posted up this thing saying that sources are saying inside the organization privately that Kyler Murray's not even going to see the field this year. He's not going to even show up and play.
I agree.
I agreed that was a good strategy because they want to deal him. You know, this is before this whole blatant tankathon thing was happening. But it says the Arizona Cardinals are privately telling people that Kyler Murray not expected to play this season via the Pro Football Network.
I mean, if he plays, he's going to be running for his life, and he's already coming off an injury. Why would you want to put it? He's not.
Well, it's more about being able to deal him the hell out of here.
That's what I'm saying. So
Get
if he gets hurt again, then you're done. I mean, and he's not. He's probably like, I have no interest in getting back on that field. No, thank you.
I think that he would want to play because he would need to show that he can still do it. Like that would be in his best interest. In the team's best interest, absolutely not. Because if Kyler gets hurt again, it's going to be hard to trade him and get rid of him and get that money off the books, which is what you really want. And it's also going to be, really hard to get a number one overall pick because Kyler is capable of running around and scrambling, and against a bad enough team, he might accidentally win you a game you don't want to win.
You can't trade in a car you've crashed.
Yep.
Hamilton Porter says, watch them pull a major league and win the whole friggin' thing. Well, if you remember the movie Major League, they didn't win the whole friggin' thing. They won enough games to, put the owner in her place, but they did not go on and win the World Series. Navy Brad says, question, if the Cardinals are really tanking, could the season ticket holders file a class action lawsuit against the team for not placing a competitive team on the field?
Great question.
Good luck. Boy, first off, you're going up against an NFL team, which means the weight of the NFL legal system would come to town and they would just destroy you. And the other part of this is prove it. How are you going to prove it?
That'd be the hard part.
You've got a first-time head coach. How do you prove that he's just not a bad coach?
Because you're trying to prove intent. We can see it. It's obvious to us. But you could have somebody sit down and just lie. And you can't prove they didn't.
And unless we find some leaked email that says, look, this is our plan for making sure we suck enough to get Caleb Williams. There is no there, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got to get Bidwell, Awesome Fart, or Gannon on video saying, oh my God, we are so tanking. It's not even funny. Oh my God. Yeah, Colt McCoy, we sent him away. We knew he'd win too many games. So he went bye-bye. You're not recording, are you? Okay, good. Listen, oh my God, we're tanking. It would be a video like that is what you would need to win.
And outside of that, I don't know what you have really. I mean, we can see it again, but that's us reading between the lines. It has to be, I think, more explicit than that.
The Jet says, going to argue with Keon now. Yes, Colt McCoy knew the entire playbook, but he has less ceiling than the other players. He can't make the plays right now. He's not going to make them later. He might have started week 1, possibly week 2, but that would have been it. And then he would have been on the payroll, just sitting there taking money.
Sure. But the counter to that is you brought in Josh Dobbs, who I have seen play football. The ceiling ain't that high over there either. I don't know what like people are pitching this direction. Like I don't know what that ceiling looks like.
The Cardinals quarterback room, everybody had to duck to get in because they built it at a height where, Kyler Murray was comfortable.
It's just, I don't buy it. And Clayton Tune might have something, maybe, but
he should hope not if he values his job.
Because he might be gone too, but he's a 5th round rookie.
The Jet says, listen, for Colt McCoy, did you not watch him in the preseason? He looked horrible. And they said that he was even worse when they went up to Minnesota and had practice with the Vikings. I think the coaches were looking at this new guy to be number 2 behind whoever we have next year. and then Tune B in the number 3. Put McCoy. Colt McCoy was running scared. Every play.
Who looked good for them in the preseason?
And who isn't
Nobody.
going to
Nobody,
run
because
scared
there's
behind
no
that
line,
O-line?
there's no
Yeah.
receivers. I mean, I don't care who's back there.
I only watched one Cardinals game. I wasn't impressed with anybody throwing the football.
Why is Blau still on the roster?
Blau. He's not.
He's not.
He's gone finally?
Yeah, I looked at the final 50 or the initial 53, I guess, since we're doing waiver stuff this week. But the initial 53, and he wasn't on it. It was just Tune and it was just Dobbs.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Dobbs looks like a great stunt double for the main character on Mars Attacks. What if they kept Kyler for a year and let him train to be a pro under a quarterback that prepares and cares like Caleb Williams?
So you would have the guy making
you're going to drive him crazy because I've made this suggestion in other ways before.
15 times what the rookie is making. No. And I think
here was my Ralph, listen, this is my reasoning. So here's what you got. You keep Kyler Murray, you're paying him $1 bazillion, right? Then you have a rookie come in, you ain't got to pay him nothing. You keep them both, you're paying that much money. And it's like you who cares who gets the money? You should be giving Caleb, but you're giving the money Kyler. Doesn't matter. You still got all the wins you're going to get.
Because you are because
he hates that.
Because
I mean,
and Ralph
do that, but you wouldn't.
You could do that. You would.
I want to do it so bad just to annoy
you would
Keon.
be insane.
If I had won the $1 billion, let's say there was a $5 billion, a $9 billion, $10 billion lottery, I'd win it. I'd buy the team. I would do that, and I would make Keon watch.
You wouldn't be annoying me. I'm just saying the fact that you were. I can't tell if you're joking or not. That's the reason why. This is bothering me. If you actually went out and did it, like that's your team now, and you're just going to run it into the ground
But
on
if
purpose.
you think about the money, though,
it doesn't. No,
Listen. You think about the money. Here's Mr. A. Here's Mr. B. Mr. A is getting $100 million. Mr. B is getting $1 million. We win a Super Bowl. We just spent $100 million. Doesn't matter which one performs.
My
as
point
long
is,
as you get what you want.
My point is that you won't win a Super Bowl because the reality is. Your quarterback room has more money on it, and the guy on the field can't be helped because that money could be in your receiver room, your offensive line, your defensive line, your secondary, your wide receivers,
you gotta get a nice pool table in there.
tight ends. Like you could be putting that money anywhere else, but instead you're giving it to the guy holding the clipboard. So you're not helping the rookie who's actually playing. You're not helping him.
But the guy holding the clipboard, so and theoretically you can do it, but
you can.
What do you have to lose under by the cap if you get rid of Murray next year? How much money are you still being?
You are going to have to eat a year of dead money, but the sooner you get out of that, the better for you.
I think for Caleb Williams, this could be a positive thing because he's probably looking at Cardinal ownership going, hell, I can go there and play like crap and still get a huge contract. Maybe I do want to play for this team.
True, but
I'm
I'm assuming that the people in charge actually want to keep their jobs. And in order to do that, you're going to have to build a team. Take
like
the
how
money you're
upset this
playing
makes
one
you.
guy.
Just
Well,
get fired
because it's an insane idea. Like no one would ever build a team like that.
Look at the owner of my team.
And even he wouldn't do that. He just can't stop talking.
I still say Kyler Murray will be a Cowboy next year. You'll see. Prescott will be gone. It'll be Murray and Lance.
I think it's a great plan. We'll see if these guys pull it off.
I don't think that's going to happen because I think Jerry found big arm guy who runs around a lot, and I'm pretty sure he'll be obsessed with that for a while until
he likes new shiny toys, though. We'll see. He can have a small toy and a big toy.
A micro machine. Baker's Cocky Hen says, put Kyler in as the change of pace running back with a gadget RPO. Imagine that seriously, though. An RPPO.
Like the guy on the Cowboys?
That ain't going to happen. Hefty Lefty says, close second would be Matt Leinart. What are you talking about? He says, no one loved college more than Stetson Bennett, though. Close second would be Matt Leinart. He knew he was peaking, and he stayed in the moment as long as he possibly could.
Well, I think Matt Leinart was shocked that someone actually drafted him because everybody knew that he was not going to be a good pro, except for the Cardinals.
Except for the Cardinals, apparently.
Yeah,
it was pretty clear. It's just like, no, do you see how many times he turns around and gives the ball to Reggie Bush? That is not a Matt Leinart powered team. And everyone on earth knew it. Yeah. Everybody.
Rico Suave says, what's up, fellas? What's up, Rico? Bruno Baller says, Randy's going to have his hands full when he makes his Cardinals picks this year.
Yep.
I think he's going to be 19 sheets to the wind. when he does those.
He'll pick them every week.
Of course he will. Swave Dave says, do you think James Conner will still have a decent season? Statistically, you kind of feel like maybe he's a good pick.
In terms of just sheer numbers, yeah, I mean he's gonna run a lot. There's no getting around that. But is it going to be tough sledding with the yards per carry for him? Is it going to be 3 yards a carry or something like that? Yeah, probably, because he's running behind a bad O-line, and everybody in the building knows that he's the only offensive guy who can do anything.
They're going to put 8 up on the box against him and say they're going to dare the quarterback to throw.
With all due respect to Zach Ertz and Hollywood Brown, but you can't throw the ball to yourself.
Right.
Mr. Wilbur says, why is everybody so enamored and worried about my Cardinals? And we haven't even played a regular season game yet. Yes, we will struggle to make it in the playoffs, but they will be competitive. And for right now, get off my team and I'll get off your wives.
If you get off the pot, we'll get off your team, because there's no way you will struggle to make the playoffs. You're going to struggle to win a game.
Yeah, we're talking about, will you win games this year? No. I am erring on the side of yes, but like 1 or 2. Like
the over under is 1. Choose.
Chief Skull says you can't prove tanking through emails, etc. Bidwell's burner phone won't allow it. Good point. T-Licious says, man, it's hot as balls out here. Can you talk about cold weather and football? Maybe that'll help. And he says, go Cubs go. He says, by the way, and by football, I meant the 49ers. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I don't think we have anything interesting about the 49ers except
what do you want us to say? We like Brock Purdy around here.
We hope for Brock Purdy. So that's
place.
it.
That's all we've got.
Place Niners. That's good. Enjoy it.
Second place to who?
To Seahawks. Absolutely.
Oh, right.
Seattle's the best team in the West.
I kind of agree.
They're the best team in the West.
I know.
Seattle's the best team in the West, and they are a contender this year.
In Geno, you live and die.
No, I know, but you do. But the defense is sick looking.
But Geno's been solid. Like
I know, but that'll
Geno's
make him solid this year.
They got probably the top 2 receivers. I mean, if you look at receivers, DK, Lockett, and Jigma, those 3 are going to be amazing. You've got Walker in the backfield with Charbonnet. You have a really good offensive line.
Well, that's how you say his name.
Yeah,
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, it's like a wine.
Yeah, well, I know. It's like Chardonnay, but
and
with
that
Chardonnay with a B.
The moves they made on defense, they look sick. That's going to be a tough team to beat. They're going to be strong.
Yeah.
You'll see. I can't wait for this season.
We'll see.
Even Keon agrees. I mean, come on.
Well, this
isn't a Seahawks fan thing. This is a fact thing. On paper, they look really good.
I don't want to agree, but like the team is built very well.
I want to be confident about my Colts. Like, oh yeah, Anthony Richards would come in and we can start to put some wins together. But then I'm like, after the cut, I looked at it. We're like, we only have 3 wide receivers. What the hell is going on here?
You'll pick guys up now.
No, we picked a guy up off the waiver this afternoon. We got Isaiah McKenzie, but I'm still like, now 4. Still,
I still say you should be playing Minshew. Minshew had a really good preseason. Richardson did not.
The only way Minshew is going to see a field now is if Richardson gets hurt.
Yeah,
I hope doesn't happen.
I think with Richardson, he needs reps. Like
agreed, but
he
why
needs
not
them.
sit him for 5 games. Let Minshew go out there and kind of let him watch the speed of the game, because you haven't seen the speed of the game in the preseason. Let's see 5-6 games, get a feel for it, and then give him a shot.
It's all about hearsay, man. He wants him on the field, and that's where he's going to be.
The guy I want to see sit for a little bit, because I'm afraid he might actually die, is CJ Stroud.
Yes.
They had 3 linemen that they had to put on IR. Man, that kid's getting killed. I like him. I think but not like this. I really don't. What can you learn?
Call your mom before the game, kid.
The Texans, did you not already have this problem with David Carr? I mean,
exactly.
Just the poor guy was shell shocked by the time he could actually do anything.
Yeah, and listen, you think that is like an aesthetic choice that he rubs like 3 handfuls of Vaseline through his hair whenever time he's on the TV? No, he's got like a disorder. He's like,
he's checking to make sure the top of his head is still there.
I just don't want to hurt.
Sorry for him.
Yeah. Glendale Runner says, nothing. You just sent me a nice picture of a sunset. Oh, here's what he says. I fear the only bright side of the Cardinals season will be sunrises like this over the stadium.
You may be right.
Oh my God. Pink Eye says, why didn't the Cards trade for Trey Lance?
Well, because
Why not?
No,
I don't think the Niners are going to
because
trade
But trade what? They have nothing to trade.
they've got to stockpile draft picks. That's where they are right now. And Trey Lance is a project. Now, you would have plenty of reps to give him to work and see if there's something there. But anybody you're going to draft is going to be farther ahead than he is at this point, and he's going to be on a rookie deal that costs a ton of money, and he's part of the way through it.
Got a lot of text sitting here on the text line. We'll get right back to them when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Ruthie, our last summer barbecue is this weekend, and it has to be epic.
Well, Total Wine has this new reposado that'll rock your barbecue. And my favorite Cabernet will make your famous ribs even famous-er.
Yes, just what my last summer barbecue needed.
Wow. And at those low prices, they'll be great for my first fall barbecue.
Ooh, I'll trade you my famous ribs recipe for one of yours.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Ruthie, our last summer barbecue is this weekend, and it has to be epic.
Well, Total Wine has this new reposado that'll rock your barbecue. And my favorite Cabernet will make your famous ribs even famous-er.
Yes, just what my last summer barbecue needed.
Wow. And at those low prices, they'll be great for my first fall barbecue.
Ooh, I'll trade you my famous ribs recipe for one of yours.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
1084, please stand by.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with #HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And okay, let's get this text line cleaned up so we can move on to the next thing. Let's see. Navy Brad says, I'll say it was nice meeting Ralph at the draft party.
Oh, thank you. Nice meeting you too.
He says, I have a question. He already asked that question. Never mind. Hefty Lefty says, Connor would be a great back this year, you know, in a PPR league that gives running backs an extra point for every 5 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
He's going to be busy. He is going to be busy. Cardinal Art says one of those 2 wins for the Cardinals will be against the Commandos. Keon, you want a lunch bet?
Oh, gosh.
Ooh,
Yes,
Cardinal Art.
I like free lunch.
That's a losing bet for Cardinal Art.
Well, I guess define the lunch, and you guys should shake on it.
For sure. I don't know, just nothing expensive.
It's like a
or-
Barrows lunch budget.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just do Barrows. I like
There you
pizza.
go, Cardinal Art. So lunch special at Barrows, I think it's 2 slices of pizza. Well, with Keon, it's 3 slices of pizza.
Oh my god,
and a
it was
drink.
$1 extra.
Dude, I don't care. It's Randy who has a hard time.
I know
with it.
Randy was like,
Anytime I buy you lunch, have 3 slices. I don't care. But no, that ain't much money, Cardinal Art.
when I take myself, I get the 3 slices. I like it.
Yeah, you do.
They
you,
make
man.
good pizza.
I didn't care at all. Baker's Cocky Hen says it'll be great to see Ralph upset that LA beat out his team when the Rams win week 1. Pete
Yeah,
Carroll's still the coach, right?
It's not going to happen. And yes, it's not. No way.
Nondescript says bet on that from Solar Boy, just like he predicted the Lakers even making the postseason. It's a good point. Yeah, you anytime you crow about the Lakers, it has not gone well.
What? They made it to the conference championship. I mean,
they
made it to the conference championship. What are we talking about here?
No, they didn't.
No,
that didn't happen.
No, they didn't.
I was trying to explain to somebody what gaslighting was earlier. So, Chief Skull says Ralph needs to move to Seattle without that sea hag licking he's doing. 49ers going to be league champs with Geno struggling this year because he had one good year. One.
I think by week 5, the Niners will be led by Sam Darnold. That's my prediction. Have fun with that.
Thundar Santa Barbarian says, I think you guys are selling the Arizona Cardinals short. I see. They'll win some games. I mean, NFL teams still hold exhibition games against college and university teams, right? I like the Cards' chances against ASU. Well, that might be a little tough, but they could take GCU, right?
Probably.
Well, GCU doesn't have a team, so
they might win that game.
So no, I don't think any collection of 22 GCU students are beating the Arizona Cardinals this year. The Cardinals the Cardinals do have good football players on that team. It's just too far and too far in between. Hollywood Brown's a good player.
Really?
Zach Ertz is
They
a
have
good
one
player.
good player. That's it.
Paris Johnson on the offensive line is a
one
good
good player.
football player.
They have a player.
James
Budda
Conner
Baker,
is a
that's
good
it.
player. Buda Baker is a good
If
player.
I'm Buda Baker, I don't play this year.
But that's not in Buddha's DNA. He's not wired that way. But no, they have good players. But like when you look at each group, like the tight end group, the offensive line as a group, the wide receivers as a group, like it's just when you start looking at the position groups, it's
bad.
It's rough. It's rough stuff.
T-Licious says, you better pinch your ass and wake up, Ralph. Second place is in your future. 49ers will wreck your asses just like we did 3 times last season.
You're in for an awakening this year. Get ready.
Swazman says, hey, Jeffrey, tell Randy sorry, but I'm betting against the Cardinals every week. By the way, Bears will be improved, maybe. Yeah, how'd they do with all them draft picks? Is that a greatly improved team?
It is a somewhat improved team. They're still building that. Like, there's some of those picks they still haven't picked yet.
Yeah.
But they've used some of those picks to try and go out and bring talent in. So we'll see what the kind of updated receiving core is like. That's, try and get Justin Fields some weapons to actually throw to. They've been trying to rebuild that offensive line, and it's better than it was, and the defense is going to need some help. They obviously got some draft picks for moving Roquan Smith, but the downside is you moved Roquan Smith. So there's a guy that's one of the best linebackers in the game, and you got to fill that spot all of a sudden.
Cardinal Art says, Keon, I was thinking ace of wings. Oh, right. Keon loves wings. He says, but I love pizza, especially Costco pizza. He says it's a bet. Dude, yeah, Costco. If you're going to have a
Costco pizza is fine, but we could do ace of wings. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, but
Little Caesars is better than Costco.
Ace of wings, yeah, but like I love wings.
Wait a minute, Ralph. You don't agree on that?
I don't eat either one of them, so I don't know. But I've heard Costco is good.
Oh, that's right. You're Italian. So what's your pizza, Mr. Italian?
I don't eat much pizza. I have gluten allergy, so I can't really eat a lot of pizza. So
Well, don't scoff at Little Caesars. You don't know.
I used to love Little Caesars breadsticks. I didn't like their pizza.
I'm good
crazy
with their
bread was
pizza.
amazing. I love their crazy bread.
I dig their stuff, man. And it's cheap as hell. Costco for me, I don't know, something doesn't seem quite right when I eat the Costco.
$5 for a pizza or something.
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's
but there's
$10 for a gigantic pizza.
Something off about it. I mean like unhealthy. I don't mean like
call the health department. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't think I dig the flavor of their sauce. Maybe that's what it is. And Cardinal Art says, Ralph, seriously, if you were Buddha, you wouldn't be on with Jeffco and Keon. Sheesh. It's salty dog hiring up there in Seattle. I don't know what he's talking about. Sometimes his texts just sort of fall apart. I don't. And he says, Ace of Wings it is, Keon. Navy Brad says the Cardinals should re-sign Josh Rosen. You know, that would be a sign the season is flushed down the crapper.
Yeah, maybe don't send that sign that strong. It's already strong enough. We do not need to make that signal stronger. It's okay. I think we're good.
Hey, Keon, how you feeling?
I'm doing all right.
You having any issues? You have any? You feel like okay? You feel sick? You feel like maybe a fever?
I feel pretty healthy.
Yeah, me too. I'm feeling pretty all right. And you know, Randy doesn't have any side of flu or any kind of, because we all were around Ralph. And generally, last time I was around Ralph, well, last time I got COVID.
No, you gave me COVID.
No, you gave me COVID.
No,
Mr. He's like, I don't even wash my hands.
I saw you for 5 minutes and boom, COVID.
No, yeah, you'll never convince me of that. Well, we went to that remote on Friday, and remarkably, I feel fine. So, well, you know who doesn't feel fine is John McEnroe. He's going to miss the U.S. Open coverage because he's filthy with the COVID.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's been a while since we've heard any story where somebody says, "Oh yeah, so and so's got the COVID." Yeah. So, but John McEnroe, he says, "I'm under the weather, tested positive, filthy with the COVID, so I'll be watching from home." And okay, I didn't even know he was doing this. He's 77 years old.
Yeah, but he's good.
No, I'm sorry. He won 77 singles. I read that wrong.
He's not 70.
How old is he? He's in his 60s.
Probably
least,
in his
right?
early to mid 60s, right?
Yeah. If John McEnroe is listening, he's throwing rackets and
Pissed at you
streaming.
now, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, he's 64.
I don't mind.
You're off by like 13 years.
So yeah, he is filthy with the COVID. That is a true statement right there. And hopefully we don't have to say that too much more, especially not about NBA or NFL players.
Not
Man,
making a comeback. So.
don't need that. Well, maybe we're just now a little more wise about the expectations of not getting it. How effective masks really were, and how to deal with it when we get it. I said this when we were going through it. We were all in the dark. We didn't know what was going on with the COVID. I'm like, it's going to all be about the treatment. None of what we are doing now is going to matter. It's going to be, can they figure out treatments for it? Now they got good treatments for it. So it's not like a massive automatic death sentence if somebody gets the COVID. Now it's just, okay, let's get your ass to the doctor in time and get your treatment, and we'll all go on with our lives. It's become a new flu.
From you.
No, and Ralph, when Ralph gets it, he shows up to the station and he's like, "Hey, let's do a show, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I want to share this." Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? What's up? So ESPN is putting Booger McFarland and Herm Edwards together because they're like, well, we got these two guys left over. What are you gonna do with them? Yeah, give them a NFL college studio show thing.
Is there a moderator for this? Because I don't.
I feel like both these guys are being paid hourly.
No disrespect to Booger or Herm, but I think both of those guys are good when they have something to react to. I don't know that any of them is driving a show.
Waiting for the other to talk.
They should do Cardinal games.
I would pay that. I would pay
to watch that.
But Booger and Herm together. I mean, I'd have to see that happen. It would be awful in a way that would be truly entertaining.
It would play on the field. That'd be good.
That's an experience that brings back old style words like feckless. That one pumped right there in front of you. Booger McFarland and Herm Edwards together. Rectinator says, Jeffrey, you, Randy, and Keon have more than made your way in radio, paid dues, etc. And yet, for fill-in, you have this Ralph, this no talent, half-ass solar slow pitch douche.
Slow pitch.
Just saying, there's way better other choices for host. Ralph.
That's probably his nicest text about me ever.
Yeah, it actually had more
really
than just more than a straight up, just sort of
he must be coming around.
insult.
He must be coming around a little bit.
Yeah,
that's good.
We're sobering up for a moment. I don't know. Mr. Pink Eye says Quick Trip has good pizza. Oh my God.
There's nothing good at Quick Trip.
Yeah, tell me you work on the road without telling me you work on the road.
Yeah, if you work on the road, your tastes are going to be different because you kind of don't have a choice. I do not eat food from a gas station. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Every time I have regretted it.
Same.
We need Buc-ee's out here, and it'd be better.
Who the hell's Buc-ee's?
You don't know Do you know Buc-ee's, Keon?
I've heard of it.
It's a gas station in Texas, but it's like gigantic. It's basically like a grocery store. And
I remember Stuckey's. You
Buc-ee's
travel,
has
you
got
see
they've got a ton of food. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. But Buc-ee's isn't even a gas station. It's a restaurant and a grocery store and
buy anything there.
It's like a mini Walmart.
It's a mini Walmart. You buy anything there. You name it, you can get it.
Rough Rob wants to know if Tom Brady is going to pull a Jordan and come back and win championships. What are you talking about? United States beat the living bleep out of Jordan, 110-62.
Oh, that's the country of Jordan.
There's no way the country of Jordan's ever come. They'll never play basketball again.
They quit.
0% of people are ready to play for Jordan after what we did.
They have one more game in their group. They have to actually go through this again.
They are
the US is
0-3.
merciless.
Jordan has not won a game yet.
They've done it.
They're really not going to be up for the next
They
one.
tried fouling the bleep out of Anthony Edwards, and it didn't matter. He just walked through everything that they did.
See the graph? Guess which one is the United States?
They're off the start.
Oh my God, it's bad. So no, I don't think Jordan's going to be doing
It's
that.
like watching them play a bunch of very tall kids. It was not good.
A-Wings 22 says, Ralph is right. We need a Buc-ee's here. Well, this is not Texas, it's Arizona, and you get what you get. So that is 2 hours down and 1 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Staples has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on all your school essentials from notebooks to markers. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, portable tech, and travel-size personal items. Plus, save on signs, banners, and posters from Staples print and marketing services. And now at Staples, you can save even more with $10 off document printing when you spend $40 or more. Get everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. Ends 9/30. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
And now, here are the top 3 things experts recommend you do to survive the summer with a broken AC. 1, breathe very slowly. 2, do not make any sudden moves until help arrives.
Just ignore it.
3, calmly express your disappointment to your husband for neglecting service on your air conditioner.
They finally get me unstuck from this leather chair. I'm gonna kick your...
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. With federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. And we got Keon Rose in the control room. And you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And the text line has been hyperactive today. Been a very, very text-heavy day with a lot of people stuff to say, and people coming out of the woodwork, even people that we haven't heard from in a minute. So good to have all you guys on here. And well, Silly Wabbit, haven't heard from you for a little bit. He says, hey, Fourth Dimension, don't complain about Ralph. Jeffrey has certainly scoured the waiver wire and radio to find a replacement. There just wasn't one he could afford for the under $250 salary cap they have at the Fanatic.
That's true. It's very true.
Oh, shut up, Silly Wabbit. T-Licious says Spinatos, Nello's, Rosati's, top 3 pizza places in my eyes. And don't knock Costco pizza. It's decent. I didn't say it's not decent. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying Barrows is better. Little Caesars is better. Howie's is better. I like Howie's. They got that garlic on the crust.
Have you ever had Sicilian pizza?
Oh, yeah. It's, you know what, for me,
with a sweet sauce?
If I'm going to go that far, let's have lasagna.
No, but I mean, you know how it has the sweet sauce?
Yeah.
Have you ever had
Yeah, I
that?
know.
Yeah, it's so good.
No, I've had my fare of Sicilian where you're like, I should get a fork. It's just you know, may as well have a fork for this. Cardinal Art says, how is it that Ralph is an avid Seattle fan and doesn't know who Dave Salty Dog Wyman is? He says, I'm asking for the 12th man.
I know who Dave Wyman is. Dave Wyman played for the Seahawks. He's a linebacker. Very well aware of who he is.
Why would you assume he didn't know that, Cardinal Art? Baker's Cocky Hens. What the bleep are you talking about? Did you? What the hell? Okay, sorry. Here's what he says. Canada to beat the United States in FIBA. Lock it up.
Well, Canada's got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's just been going bananas.
Mm-hmm.
But the U.S. is so deep. Like this, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are coming off the bench and just locking people up on defense. It's insane. And I don't know. As much as I like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't know if I like him better than Anthony Edwards right now. Anthony Edwards looks like a superhuman out there.
Forget Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves has been good. In fact, Austin Reeves, the way the international game is played, he's like the perfect guy.
Yeah, I think they'll have it in mind, what's going on with Canada when they get there.
They are such an embarrassment of riches right now.
Mm-hmm.
They benched Brandon Ingram so they could start Josh Hart because Josh Hart plays better defense, and we just have the offense covered already with the other 4 guys that are going to be out there on the floor. If you have so many players, you can bench Brandon Ingram, you'll be okay.
Baker's Cocky Hens, you keep track of that text, because if you end up being right, you get to crow for sure.
Yeah,
but I think there's 0% chance you'll be right.
Yeah.
Moist One says, I love that sweet sauce. Not what we're talking about. Cardinal Art says, actually, Venice Pizza in Glendale. That's an institution. Best pizza in town to me, technically. All right. I don't know if I've... actually, I think I've been there. Oh, my God. Yeah, I've been there. I had to sit there with a guy who ate his pizza with a knife and a fork. He's no longer on this show. Mr. Wilbur says, how do we know you didn't waive Randy and now you're claiming that you're going to bring him back tomorrow? His $56 million salary for this year and $36 million next year, similar to Kyler Murray's. That's a lock for radio. Ron, it's a lot for him to swallow. I'm not going to comment on the contractual obligations of CRC Broadcasting or really our interactions and negotiations with Randy White or anyone else. So there. No, Pink Eye, Quick Trip does not have good pizza and they don't have good breakfast. He says, no, they do. It's a breakfast pizza. It's really good. You should try it. Well, if I ever feel like I need diarrhea, I might.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm gonna pass though.
Quick Trip though, as far as gas stations go, it is really nice.
Solid gas station. Yeah.
Very good. I'll stop there to use the bathroom. I'll go in there and get me a donut. Sometimes they have the apple fritters in there, and everything in there seems clean and nice. And the guy at the register always calls you boss. I don't care for that, but okay. Hey chief, hey boss, hey, what's going on? It's like, don't nickname me, just give me my damn drink.
7-Eleven, that's what Quick Trip is.
It's way nicer than 7-Eleven ever was.
7-Eleven of the 80s and 90s. I mean, that was everything. In LA, that was everything.
Oh, come on now. I've been to plenty of a 7-Eleven or Circle K, and they were never as nice as Quick Trip. Never.
But back in the 80s and 90s, all you had in LA was 7-Eleven. That was it.
I mean, it's a standard. 7-Eleven was like the Motel 6. It was the same everywhere you went. Clean enough, it would do. Quick Trip is like a palace compared to 7-Elevens and Circle K's and stuff like that. Still ain't going to eat their hot dog that's been sitting there rolling for 18 hours. But, it's nice in there. Baker's Cocky Hen says all you got to do to get in Edward's head is have a couple of guys in the crowd dressed like women. He just can't help himself. Funny how quickly those things go away for some guys, yet others get labeled forever. Nobody. Who's he talking about?
I have Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Anthony Edwards.
But I'm
no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that, man. I don't follow.
Although
somebody was shouting at him while he was shooting a free throw the other day, screamed at him. And he made the free throw and screamed back and then went back to go play defense.
That's funny.
Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hens. It's not that it went away. I just don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Although this is interesting. You remember Zion Williams, and he's got a crazy girl, porn star lady who's screaming at him saying and he got some other gal pregnant and, the whole thing we were talking about. And, she's out of her mind and the whole Instagram thing and Mariah Mills, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a porn star. Anyway, so now we're like, wow, you should know better. And good luck with that. Huge mess for Zion Williams. At least his personal life. It's not going to affect his basketball life. Well, now DeAndre Ayton has been seen in a video with a porn star, brushing her hair, and he's not wearing a shirt, and he's just brushing it, and she's like, "Oh, look, it's like, wow, that's my man." Yeah, I guess so. Now saying that Kat Leia, is porn star, is their boyfriend girlfriend now, and there's pictures of them making out at a restaurant, and then there's a video of him like laughing, combing her hair, and that's a weird kink, but. Did he learn nothing from watching what happened to Zion? He's got a 2-year-old son. And, daddy is spending time with a porn star. Can't see you tonight. I mean,
I don't know what to say about this. I don't have any additional. I mean,
what's with the porn stars? What is with these guys? What is Jimmy Garoppolo with Zion Williams and now DeAndre Ayton? You're like, if you say, hey, that girl there's a porn star, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I got insurance, but I don't have insurance that good. My prescription plan only goes so far, and that's a porn star. I'm thinking, nope.
It's like buying a used car. I mean,
okay. Wow.
There are used cars, and then there are what is all this sticky stuff in the inside of this car?
That is not how people work. Look, I don't get it myself, but people. If the person gets tested and you want to do it, go for it. I don't know what else to say about it.
So I've bought some used cars, but not cars that have been used that much.
That's about like a rental car.
That's not.
That's a
there
bad idea.
isn't like a use limit on a person. I don't buy.
Isn't there though?
No, there isn't.
There should be.
Like medically, like if no, there isn't.
Yeah.
Like now, if you don't want to, if that's your preference to go, okay, if I've seen you and
Can I
another
tell you?
person that explicitly, maybe I'm not comfortable with that.
Let me help you out, Ralph. I'll buy a rental car. I'm not buying a taxi cab.
That is. No, man.
That's a good
not,
analogy. I like that.
That's
I mean,
just not how the human body works.
It's not about the human body. It's about the human brain. It's not about them. It's about me, and it's about you.
Okay,
it's about
but
most
then-
people
but
going.
then yeah, you're just
wow.
you're
A lot
just
of people
if-
been through that tunnel. I ain't driving that way.
if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine.
I'm
I
driving
don't,
a
I
different
don't know.
direction
That's I don't know. That makes this person this weird object. I'm not.
They shouldn't tell anybody.
How are they not supposed to tell anybody? Their job is literally in front of a camera.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you mean? Don't tell anybody? You can literally see it.
Well, they don't have high expectations.
Which if look, Zion, DeAndre, Jimmy G, they don't care. I don't
Clearly.
It's like, when you
So,
go buy a
I
used
don't
car,
care.
you can watch
I
a
don't care
video
either
about the
for them.
car.
I mean,
it's kind of the same thing, right? So you can see the video of the car and how it performs.
It's
You
not.
can kind of watch that on her too.
That's not how
You have to watch Taxi
people
Cab
work.
Confessions.
People are not cars. Like, you cannot stress that enough.
Or it's an analogy, Keon. We know people aren't cars.
Yeah, correct. But the analogy is like
Well,
what the person feels used when
she's
you
got
get
miles
like that
on
doesn't.
her.
That's not.
She's been around the block a few 100,000
That's
times.
that is not how that works. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Kind of
If you
does.
no, it doesn't.
There's
Talk
a reason
to
you
a
change
doctor.
tires on
No,
cars.
talk to a damn doctor. That is not how that works. The
Oh,
number.
it's not even about the physicality of the person. It's
I-
more about that's a lot to take. You know what I'm
What do
saying?
you mean?
Just
those. Okay.
It's just like you
I
can't
don't-
buy a warranty on a car after 100,000 miles.
That is
I mean, it's
that
kind
is
of the same
again
thing.
that for the reason why we do this on cars is because physically over time the car breaks down,
Right.
wears
the
out.
cylinders get
That
worn
is
out. They start
not what
leaking oil.
happens to human
It's the same
beings
thing. They
like
start
that. No,
smoking.
it's not the same thing, which is what I'm trying to tell
I
You gotta
don't
you.
know.
rebore it, put new rings
That's what I'm
on
trying
it,
to
get
tell
it
you.
tighter.
It is not the same thing.
I've never gotten into a car and worried if the car was going to say, "Are you in yet?"
That's not how that works, is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, what are we doing?
I'm just saying,
You're saying wrong is what I'm trying to say.
but you know,
I think he's spot on.
You might think he's spot on, but medically, that is not how that
it
works.
is
medically
probably
spot
more
on.
our own
You
insecurities.
can tell me you think he's medically spot on. I'm telling you, talk to a doctor. That is not how that works.
Is there a specific doctor that actually does?
It's called a
doctoring
gynecologist.
for the porn stars.
Well, they all use a gynecologist. What
Yeah,
specific
it's not about the
doctor?
medical. It's about the psychological of it. Like,
You're saying the psychological, but Ralph is using the rental car analogy, and you're also saying, the
well, for me,
psychological. If
it's
the
same thing.
if the
If it's for him
psychological,
medical, it's for me psychological.
the psychological,
it can be the same
the,
thing.
the psychological, no one can do anything about but you. Steer clear if you want to steer clear. But I'm just telling you,
Keon?
things are not looser.
Well,
All right.
I disagree.
Just-
I would think the gynecologist has a different set of tools for that person.
Keon, have you
They,
been?
they do not.
Have you dated a porn star?
I have not.
Oh,
Do you
seem
want to?
Very, very passionate.
Because
about
I
this.
like to be right about things, and we're just spouting stuff that's not true, man.
Do you
Let's
want to
just-
do you want to date one?
No,
You sure?
I'm all good. I'm just telling you, I like to say
That is a
things that are
confident man who's like,
that are
yeah, I got
true.
this.
like what we're saying. If we just roll along with this, it's not true. That's just not how people
We're
work.
not even. You're the only one talking about the medical part of this.
I am
I'm talking
not.
about.
I am not because when you
I'm
do
more like-
the car never said, "Are you in yet?" Like I'm telling you, that's
Oh, come
that's-
on, that's funny.
it's funny, but it's not a real thing. But that is a medical real
Okay,
thing
let
that
me help
some
you out
people
here. Here's-
believe.
Here's
So I
the
am
thought
telling you,
process.
people
Here's the
who
thought
believe
process.
that ain't how it works.
Men want to be Captain Kirk. We want to go where no man has gone before. You know, we don't want to go with every man has gone before. You know,
And women.
all the men have gone before. You know,
And other things.
towns worths of people have gone before.
Maybe
we,
animals.
we want to be pioneers, and we're in this illusion that we might be. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, like
Don't you feel that way?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. Does it I don't
you
care.
want to be the astronaut that got to the moon first. You'd rather be the guy that got there, 20
Well,
years
again,
later, where
because
everyone's already
I'm
been there.
I'm talking about a human
The
being.
rocks are all kicked around.
Either I care about the person or I don't care about the person. Like that's all I got. Like I
We
don't
have
know.
a doctor who's texting in. Screaming Eagle says, Keon is correct, but I am laughing way too much. That's all it is. That's all right. That's good. Right there. 888-368-1580. Swave Dave's like, well, I don't know if this really matters anymore, but Papa Murphy's taking bake hot and fresh when you want it. Well, you can spice it up if you want to. Silly Rabbit's
That is
like,
the funniest transition, right?
yeah, Luminaldi's pizza. Yeah, that's excellent, thin and thick crust. That's good.
I've heard that. I've still not been there.
Swuzman says, Jeffrey, whatever happened to Filthy Phil the fill-in? You've had many come and go. I'm not saying Keon's in jeopardy or nothing, but no, that's exactly. Phil was not supposed to be here long term, and it's a good thing he wasn't because I probably would have fired him. And we thought Kaler might be around for a minute, but he got this dream job that he wanted. But we've been talking to Keon for a while. We scouted Keon, and so now he's been here 2 years. So
yeah, you watched his films.
Yeah, we watched film. We did. We were in the tape room. But here's the thing. I don't know. You might be the longest serving person in that chair. Because remember when old Eric was here, Eric was just a guy sitting around doing nothing, and then Randy ran the board until COVID, and then Eric was like, "Oh, I'm much too good for this." So technically, outside of Randy, you might be the longest serving person who's done what you're doing right now.
Phil was a year, wasn't he? A little over a year.
I didn't count. I enjoyed Phil, to a point. Baker's Cocky Hen says Edwards used a homophobic slur last off season towards some guys on the corner. They did nothing to him, and he went in kind of a tirade. Well, I didn't really even remember hearing
I
that.
do remember something about that, and he tweet apologized or whatever. But I don't.
Was it a back and forth, or did he just drive up and start shouting at him?
I don't see that. I don't know. I think he drove up and started shouting at him, but I don't remember.
Helly's proctologist says Dave Stewart. What the hell is?
Okay,
you mean from the Eurythmics?
Dave Stewart, the pitcher from the A's.
I think Helly's proctologist was texting somebody else just then. Rough Rob says Hopkins' new used car is a ex-demolition derby car. Okay. Against the Spread says a porn star is not a used car. It's a used Hearst. So DA better triple bag his junk with a hefty cinch
That
sack.
is not just what
Thundar the San Barbarian. Hold on. The text line program is it's not happy either, Keon.
He can't handle the conversation.
It just logged me out. This will be enough, sir.
There were so many opinions that the text line is like,
too much. Too much. Thundar San Barbarian says, Keon, that bit about human beings not wearing out as they get older, you are still very young.
not
Give it
as
some
no,
time.
not
The
as
car analogy might make a lot more sense as you get older.
not as they get older.
My bushings are shot, Ralph. I don't know about
if
you.
they've been with more people,
Right,
they
they
don't
get
wear
worn
out
out.
for that. No, that's not true.
And they get
My
loose
knees,
because the
age-
axles, right? The
My
bushings,
knees haven't been with
axles.
anybody.
age,
Yeah.
people wear out as they get older, but that would happen if they've been with nobody because
I-
that's just aging. That's
when
just
I go
what
down the
that's like.
stairs, I hear like grape nuts.
And eventually the
going in
bushings wear
My-
out and oil starts leaking, and then you got to replace the bushings. That's how it works.
Bushing.
That's not
Rico
how people
Suave.
work. That's just how cars work.
Well, not
Sa-
necessarily true.
Rico Suave
very
says-
necessarily true.
If your woman was experiencing good the first time you did it, how do you think she got that way? Okay, so the reality of it is we're making jokes about porn stars, but something to remember, men. There's a little something that might help you out in your life, in your relationships. Go by this mantra: I don't want to know, and you don't want to know. So let's not bother. Meaning, don't get too in depth in the details of if you find a woman and you love a woman, you don't get too in depth on the details of her past. You don't get too into details of yours, except for the relationships that do matter. Talk about the relationships of your past, but don't get into the sexy stuff. Just leave that alone. You don't want to know. I don't want to tell. Let's leave it alone.
I agree with you until your buddy sends you a link to her video collection.
That's a whole different kind of thing. You're like, oh, crap.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Crap. Moist One says, wanna be pie and ears? That's a new one even for me. No, pioneers, not pie and ears.
Unless that's just a text to speech thing.
State Street Brat says, yeah, Keon wants to die on the hill of defending a sex worker.
Yeah, because that's a person, man.
Defending
I don't
against
know.
one.
Kill me for that, I guess.
We make fun of all people, Keon.
Yeah, okay, and I'm just saying that's still a person. And
Baker's Cocky Hen says, so it's not like a used car, but it could be a little like Goldilocks. You know, you don't want to go in if someone else is still in there. What? Swazman says, still putting out a good product, Jeffrey. Still fun listening so far. Haha.
But I'll be watching and monitoring you every day.
Yeah, we're at any moment that could change with Swazman.
Hey, listen, we're on Swazman's list. He could cut down the 53-man roster and we might not be there.
All right, fair enough.
We might be Colt McCoy.
Against the Spread says, DeAndre Ayton, if you're listening, we love you here in the Valley. So stop throwing your hot dog down the hallway. No, you mean garden hose. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The NFL regular season opener will be on September 7th in Kansas City when the Super Bowl champion Chiefs take on the Detroit Lions. The Lions went 9-8 last season, started the year 1-6. Kansas City is 6.5-point home favorite, minus 290 on the money line. The Lions plus 235. The over-under at 54.5. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will play in the first Monday night football game against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, a 2.5-point road favorite, minus 138. The Jets plus 118 with an over-under of 46.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Nachos, yeah, your nachos.
Hey, I'll take some.
Great, and some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks? Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Freshness made easy with Febreze Small Spaces.
Want continuous freshness that fights odors with no batteries and no outlets? Try Febreze Small Spaces. Ah, but what's a small space? To answer that, we brought in our lawyer.
Small spaces include, but are not limited to, bathrooms, closets, laundry room, kid room, pet corners, man cave, she sheds, most nooks, and all crannies.
There you go. Febreze Small Spaces is the world's most convenient. Febreze Small Spaces is super convenient and never stops freshening for 45 days.
Free happy Febreze, la 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 la.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry. It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls. Oh my God, Davis is going running all the way back. It's the national rankings. It's college football. The Sooners right down the field. Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And, Ralph, we talked about having an awards banquet sort of remote for all the champions of the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues after our season is over. So that could be in December, in January, or even February, something like that. We're working on figuring that out. But I don't know if you heard this part. We're going to also do a Champions League. We had talked about doing that this year, but I just forgot. I absolutely forgot. So we'll do it next year. But basically what that is, 4 of the champions from the regular Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues will move up into the Premier League. The other champions will then create the Champions League along with the one ousted Premier host. So instead of just finding themselves in a random place, there's always going to be the ousted Premier host in the Champions League. And so that'll put that whole thing right together there. So that is what we're looking to do in the future.
And the winner of that league automatically goes to the Premier League the next year?
See, I'm not sure how to make that happen. Yeah, see, that's a good point. They should. You're right. They should. But then that means we'd only take 3 from the other leagues.
Right.
So that makes it even tougher to get in the Premier League.
Yeah, but I think that works. And then if we have an awards show or something, which I think is a great idea, we should give each winner 60 seconds of fame and let them have
a speech on air.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Do a remote broadcast. Let them. But I think we should also have 30 seconds for other people to heckle them.
That'd be fine. As long as we have a 7-second delay, I think we're good.
We're probably gonna have to double that thing. There is a button where we can double it to 14 seconds, 21 seconds, whatever we need.
That with some people.
Oh, and also, I don't know if you heard this, but we're going to have a fantasy football expert on in the weeks that Rosalie Michaels can't be with us because she is in Italy for 4 weeks. So Scott Engel from the Game Day, it's a betting website. He's a fantasy sports writer, and he's been around. He's well respected. He's got like 33,000 followers and well known in the game, as they say. But he's in the Fantasy Sports Writing Association Hall of Fame, and he is going to join us. Actually, tomorrow he's going to be on the show. We're just going to say hi to him and get to know him. And then every game that Rosalie misses, Scott will be in there giving you guys all the same sort of great information and advice that Rosalie Michaels was giving. So we got everybody covered going into this coming fantasy football season. So I hesitate a little bit to go back to the text line. Well, let's get this cleared up. Let's see here. Rough Rob says Keon sounded like he was talking from experience. No, he's just talking from medical fact.
Both my parents were nurses, man.
I'm glad that sentence ended with nurses.
Okay.
Because
the way it was going. I mean, I've told you my parents are nurses, so I don't know how this is not like a new sentence I've ever said on the show.
I'm just saying it's funny.
When they gave me the talk, it was in way more detail than I ever.
There's where the trauma's coming from for Keon.
And it was so, and also just like, also, but like my dad is just like, look, there's just a way you talk about women, and like just that to me, I'm gonna always push back on that because that's just how I was raised on that. And
we're not talking about anybody specifically.
No, nobody specifically, but like women in general, you know. And that's still a woman. That's still a person. So
it's very nice of you. In the meantime, they're all talking about micro penis guys. We are not getting the same consideration. I'm not saying I'm a micro penis guy. I'm saying we as men.
You just said we. So you put yourself right at the head of the class.
I have to show everybody on YouTube.
Nope.
Kind of have
to
it's
all good. You know what?
Gotta prove it.
You're not.
He already has emotional damage. Don't give him more.
Let's just say this. I don't need to whip it out. You guys have met
with a micro. You're not whipping anything out.
Well, I'm saying you've met my wife. There's no way you get that with a micro. Moving on. Navy Brad says
money.
Well, yes, lots of money. Navy Brad says for the blender leagues, the champion will receive a 1580 sports bra. Okay, enough of we can't afford that kind of technology.
Can't afford it.
Moist One says, excuse me, did you say fantasy sports writing Hall of Fame? Yeah, evidently there's a thing. That's what it said on his bio.
Fantasy sports has been around since the 80s. So, it's been around long enough that you actually could have a legitimate Hall of Fame. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Was he referred by Siege?
No, thankfully, because if he was referred by Siege, we'd be hearing him from the bottom of a well.
Yeah, we're not ever going down that road again. Helly's proctologist said Dave Stewart, a Dodger arrested getting sex favors and cocaine with a drag queen in the Hollywood alley. And it says we used to go to games dressed as drag queens and heckle them. Well, at least you found your reason. 888-368-1580. Just, I don't know. Let's see. What do we want to talk about? Should we do some football? We haven't done any real football. Well, yes, we did. Yeah, we did. I mean, but I feel like we did.
We just cardinal football. It's not real football.
Oh my God. I knew you were gonna say
That's true, though, right? We focused on the Cardinals. Let's focus on the NFL.
All right. So let's just go down the road here of as much as we can in football. 13 teams in the NFL have 3 quarterbacks on their initial 53-man roster. Because as you know now, you can have 3 guys available for quarterback. And I wonder how many teams are going to start holding 3 quarterbacks just to try to make sure somebody else don't get them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that is a real thing. If you
That's what I do in fantasy.
Let a guy go to your practice squad. I mean, there's a real chance you could lose that person. I know with the Commandos, they really liked Jake Fromm. They put him on the practice squad, and he had a pretty solid preseason. And they are legitimately worried that someone might swoop in and take him to be a backup somewhere.
When they, being on the practice squad, you can get got. So you got to be careful. But 13 teams with 3 quarterbacks. Those teams are the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Colts. What? Wait a second. Who's my third? I didn't know that. Texans, Titans, Raiders, Cowboys, Eagles, Vikings, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and 49ers.
Sam Ehlinger is your third.
Oh, really? Why did they keep him around? Go home, Sam. It's not happening. Oh my God. Good Lord. Go get Colt McCoy instead.
Really?
Yes. Anyway, so by the way, the Steelers, to make things weirder, they have 2 punters on their roster. It's like having 2 defenses on your roster in fantasy football. Why?
Don't you have to?
Why do you need 2 punters? You don't keep 2 punters on a 53-man roster.
That's dumb.
Because you can do, your kicker can step in and back that guy up, at least just to survive the game until you bring in somebody off the practice squad or for some other team. And when you put that punter on the IR, but no, the Steelers are like, yeah, we're going to try to trade one of these guys. What? Your punters are so good. You're like, hold on. What the hell? This is stunning to me.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that. I mean,
Presley Harvin and Braden Mann.
There had to have been a corner that you had to make a tough decision on, or a safety, or a lineman of some kind.
Anybody.
That is a waste of a roster spot. It's
a waste. Real good.
Yeah, Presley Harvin, Braden Mann.
But if you have 2 of them,
those are names everybody knows.
Pick the one that you like, and then it's okay if the other guy gets poached off of a practice squad. I'm sorry. Like, that position, having 2 of it is not worth what you just cost yourself somewhere else on your roster. It just isn't.
They are hoping, this is the word, they're hoping they can acquire a late round draft pick by trading either one of those 2.
Good luck. Good luck. Do you think that teams don't have their punter situation figured out by now?
Ooh. Well, the Eagles don't have a punter on their roster. But the Eagles and the Steelers they're not friendly.
I mean, they're not in the same
but
conference.
They're not friendly.
No, but like that, I don't think that matters. They're not in the same conference. That's what you worry about. Like, is that guy going to come back and haunt me? But then again, are you going to worry if a punter is going to come back and haunt you? Like, that is, I don't understand this. Like, Philadelphia can find a guy that is a free agent who's been pretty good that did get released from a roster. No one needs to trade for your punter.
Slim Pickens' hat says, "Excuse me while I whip this out." No, we're good. Thank you.
We believe you.
All fine. Gamecock says, "You ever see Blue Mountain State? Best position is backup quarterback."
There maybe is a joke in there, but I haven't. I think so. I don't get it though because I haven't seen it.
So the Colts, like I said earlier, they have now 4 wide receivers. Oh yeah, the season's saved.
Three quarterbacks, but four wideouts.
So you got 3 guys playing catch, and the other guy is just waiting. Nice. Can I get in on this? Can I do a triangle? That's fine. Bailey Zappi is back on the Patriots practice squad, but they have not officially solidified a backup actual quarterback for Mac Jones.
So I think that the logic behind that, if I'm gonna,
Tom Brady's coming back.
No, sorry, it's just not happening. But I do think that they're willing to risk Bailey Zappi being on the practice squad because there was some other position somewhere they didn't feel like they wanted to cut, and they're trying to hold on to that person as long as they can and see what they can do, because I just think that's it. They're just trying to maximize the space somewhere else on the roster, and just pray to God that Mac Jones doesn't get hurt.
Gamecock says, "You guys let me down. It's a football show on Netflix." So Blue Mountain State is a football show?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. How did we let you down?
I think it's a sitcom, maybe. I think, but I remember seeing commercials for it at one point, but I don't know. It's not like a documentary or anything. So I just never watched it.
Blue Mountain State. All right, well, I'll look it up. But man, people are very like, man, you let us down.
Just a show, man.
Tia says, "Whipping it out." Oh, there it is. That was as he texted.
That is as he texted. All right, well.
Oh, Berg says Blue Mountain State was a terrible show.
Oh, no. Well, I can't say either way. I've never seen it.
He says, just like the USL. Berg has taken to calling all of the Daily Blender regular fantasy football leagues the USL.
I mean, it's good for him. It's just weird that he's giving this much energy to teams he will never play, because no one else from the other leagues are reacting to him because I don't think they care. They don't play Berg.
Swazman says, McCoy will get a job. He's a true journeyman, very reliable, like Josh McGowan, another Irishman.
McCown.
Well, I'm just reading it the way he.
Yeah, no, I'm correcting him. That's I don't know if that was a text thing or whatever. I'm just saying.
How do you know McGowan's not Scottish?
I'm just saying it's Josh McCown. I don't know if he's Scottish or not, but
I'm just saying. Baker's Cocky Hen says Blue Mountain State is basically the Northwestern locker room. Oh, I see. Hazing.
So are you going to explain the backup quarterback thing, or you referenced it as a joke from the show, but none of us have seen the show?
Is it like Spinal Tap where all the drummers explode and die? Or
I don't know.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking him. You know what? Now we've just run out of time to talk about anything. I feel like we've got nothing done.
That is standard.
I do want to tell you that. Remember yesterday we gave credit to the Jaguars, saying, all right, well, it couldn't have been easy for Doug Peterson, but he cut his son Josh from the team. He did not make the roster. And we're like, good for you, Doug. You did the right thing. I probably shouldn't have had old Josh Peterson running around out there, taking up the spot somebody else could have had to try out for the team. This Nepo baby running around there, having his day, pretending I could be a tight end. And then finally you're like, sorry, kid, got to cut you. Give me your playbook. And we're like, good for you. At least in the end, Doug Peterson did the right thing. And then I saw this. Josh Peterson signs to the Jaguars practice squad. Are you kidding? Yes. Now we have to hit the dump delay because of Ralph. But that was my exact response when I saw that. What are you kidding me? So Doug Peterson now has no credibility as a human being, and Josh Peterson, you are a Nepo baby. We got to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Attention, your money is now controlled by the U.S. government.
Picture a world where your every purchase is monitored, tracked, and controlled by those in power to suppress the freedoms of those they see fit. Hi, my name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. And right now, I become very focused on the impending rollout of the central bank digital currency. This is not a work of fiction. It's a terrifying reality looming on the horizon. But there is a bit of good news. I've partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. They are specialists in converting your traditional assets, like those inside an IRA or 401k, into tangible assets such as physical gold and silver. Don't allow your money to be controlled. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means, wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait. Unlimited first year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Sun Devil football season is here, and we need you in Mountain America Stadium wearing gold and cheering on head coach Kenny Dillingham and your Sun Devils to victory. Join Sun Devil Nation this fall with season tickets starting at just $135. The home schedule features games against Oklahoma State and Fresno State, as well as Pac-12 matchups with USC, Colorado, Oregon, and Arizona. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Do you work outside or know anyone that does? It's that time of year across Arizona where working in high temperatures can cause a workplace injury, cramps, rashes, exhaustion, dizziness, even heat stroke. Know the signs and protect yourself from a heat stress injury. Get plenty of water, rest, and shade while at work. Learn more from the Industrial Commission of Arizona. Just visit heat.az.gov. That's heat.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
1580, The Fanatic.
Sammy Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Had a double take earlier today. Saw the headline, Bears to sign Bill Murray to the practice squad. Well, that dude's like 80 years old by now, isn't he? Not that Bill Murray. It's a different Bill Murray, an actual player from Alabama. So, yeah, it was a really shame. Bill Murray was always funny. And there were always these little leakings of stories about Bill Murray where he was kind of a rascal. And then sometimes they're like, oh, he's smacked some gal around or something, you know? And then you started hearing these stories more and more over the years, like on the set of Charlie's Angels and all the different things, these movies where he was he crossed the line, you know, from, hey, a lovable, playful guy to, well, he's abusive. This guy is, he's unhinged. So that was really disappointing when all those stories start coming together. But, well, they didn't cancel him all the way yet, you know, but the work he did and, you know, he's done. He's a funny guy. It was great. But, man, some of this other stuff does make it makes it a little hard. Does, because that does float into my mind. You guys always say, well, you give this Rapesburger all that trouble for all those years. Oh, yeah, he raped girls. And so I'm going to keep calling him Rapesburger. And I didn't want to take Tyreek Hill on my team because he abused a gal. And all these different people who have done bad things against women. No, we don't forget. I don't forget, at least. Those things do matter. And, but as a society, if you can run fast, throw well, do whatever, then boy, short memory for some people, not a short memory for me. I got a daughter. I got sisters. I got a mom. And to me, as much as we may joke around about non-existence or sort of just off in the distance imagined, Keon don't like that at all. But I'm never going to back off of calling it like I see it on Bill Cosby or people who have done wrong. And there's a lot of people who are playing in the NFL right now who have done wrong. Deshaun Watson, I'm hoping you get hurt. That's what I'm the kind of thing I'm talking about. So no, not it was weird to see, hey, Bill Murray, and like, oh man, to know that, he kind of turned into that. That sucks.
I actually didn't know that.
Look up Bill Murray and read about his checkered past.
And it's going to be a very unfun read. But
no,
yeah.
it's going to be. And but legit, he did them things, and he tries to brush him off as this, that, or the other, but it ain't cool, man. It ain't
the problem is you talk about Deshaun Watson, and I agree with you, but I mean, there's probably a ton more guys in the NFL or in sports that have bad stuff that just hasn't been discovered yet, unfortunately.
Sure.
I mean, they're human, right? They're going to be, there's a lot of really stupid people in this world, and especially young guys you throw millions of dollars at, they tend to do some stupid things. So
but we got to hold people accountable.
No, I agree with you 100%.
And our memory should not be short because of our fantasy football teams or our team allegiances or the fact that this person is an athletic star. I'm not saying
if you're like, should not be playing right now.
This guy should be able to make a living. Yeah, going down to Home Depot. You know who pays you $20 an hour? I think the In-N-Out Burger does. I know they do. Yeah. But nobody's saying he can't ever work in this town again. But being in the NFL is a privilege. Being a celebrity in sports is a privilege. And being an actor on a movie is a privilege. All those things. Yeah. And when you abuse the trust of the people that you are serving, whether it's through a team or through a TV or through a film screen, we shouldn't allow that. And that person shouldn't be allowed to do that. Yeah, but Moist one, it's not that Bill Murray. They don't need to cut him right now. This is a different Bill Murray on the Bears.
I would say, unfortunately, in Hollywood, if you probably went and looked at all these people, you'd probably lose a whole lot.
Oh, you probably would.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't just be actors; it would be executives.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially executives.
Well, power, where the power is.
Yeah,
that's where
the higher up the food chain you go, it gets worse.
Yep,
I can't do anything about what I don't know, but I feel like I am responsible for what I do know, and what I do know about Deshaun Watson, and what I do know about Kareem Hunt, and what I do know about Tyreek Hill, and what I do know about Ben Roethlisberger, and what I do know about any of these guys. And it's funny because people are like, Jeffrey, you're a hypocrite. What about this guy? Oh, just like Keon with Bill Murray. Oh, I didn't know about that guy. Right. Once I do know, now, yeah, I am responsible for me and not being a hypocrite. I just, it makes it hard sometimes.
I'd say you've been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It's fun to say Rapesburger. I'm sorry. It just is. 888-368-1580. I just don't want us to forget. That's all. Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hen says Big Ben did get some karma. He almost bled out on that motorcycle wreck. Ironic, it was from biting his tongue. Yeah, and well, but that doesn't undo what he did. Thundar the Santa Barbarian says, look at that. The Giants lost today. Yes. And the Padres lost today. He. Best case scenario, my Dodgers build on their lead tonight. If that doesn't happen, the bums from the Bay fall behind in the race for the wild card spot. Oh, I didn't know this was going to become a Let's Go Dodgers thing.
It's already there, yeah.
Oh, well. Rectinator says, I'm blind texting, Jeffrey. Sorry if I'm off topic. Anyway, I feel like this show is like the original Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Wow. He says, remember, Johnny didn't let just anyone host his show. Just something to percolate in your brain. Ralph belongs on Maury or Jenny Jones.
Maury or Jenny Jones. Wow.
Rectinator's game is actually improved here.
He's learning how to get his text read.
Just today.
Yeah, that's good.
State Street Brat says Alex Moran was the backup quarterback for Blue Mountain State, and he got laid all the time. On the TV show or in real? I mean,
I'm guessing on the TV show.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll give it a shot, but so far it doesn't look good. You know what? Let's. I I've got some more football stuff that we could talk about if you want. I mean, we're running out of time. I mean, I had something. Don't worry, Ralph. I remember. I've got it right here. It's like Ralph's trying to help. Right? I was like, on this day. No, I mean, I got it. Usually this is the time.
Trying to help you. I know sometimes you lose a little bit.
Well, I just didn't want to stop doing football before I had to. That's all. I can tell you the Cardinals have claimed Kevon Wallace and 5 other people off waivers, but Randy's not here, so I can't make fun of him.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah. Does Kevon Wallace ring a bell for you, Keon?
Not particularly.
He
no.
used to actually work with Jonathan Gannon somewhere.
Cowboy?
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. So that's no
that
fun.
makes sense. You know, you go and bring a guy that knows what you want to do. Make him part of whatever room. You know, if you're bringing in a linebacker, okay, fine. He may not start, but he can at least explain to the other linebackers what the hell is going on.
He might start.
The fact they went and ran, got some guys nobody knows or cares about was only fun if Randy was here. Joe Burrow, he came back to practice, and you remember he has the bad calf. Remember the jiggly calf. I don't know what you want to call it. And but now he's practicing, so they're looking to see maybe this means he'll start week 1. And they're not sure, but he might.
Who's the backup there?
I don't think they want to rush him back.
Who is the backup?
The backup for the Bengals at quarterback would be Jake Browning.
Yeah, they need to rush him back.
Never heard of him. They better rush him back.
Played at Washington. I remember when he was
there.
there.
Yeah, that's right.
And they need to rush him back. That's big arm, nothing else.
Hecty's proctologist is being that guy right now. You ready for this? Johnny Carson was not the original. Yes, I know about Jack Parr. I know about Steve Allen, but it was just the Erectinator. You know, I mean, everybody thinks the Tonight Show. What do your first name you think is Johnny Carson?
Johnny Carson, yeah,
definitely not Jay Leno.
Jay Leno's number 2.
Ugh. For me, no.
Well, he was the
F. Jay Leno.
Well, he was the second guy.
Never liked him when he did the show. Liked him even less when we found out what he did to Letterman. We liked him even less when he did it again to Conan O'Brien.
Well, nobody's ever going to be Johnny. Johnny Carson was a master.
Absolutely right. Johnny Carson, number 1 right there.
Yep.
But listen, go back, you watch some Steve Allen and some Jack Parr, and you'd be sort of wondering about your rankings there. You know, so some of them, those old shows are amazing. So as man says, Jeffrey, last text of the day, Ben lost it around every turn. I'm predicting his former team will be good this year, though, even though Tomlin is overrated. You can't say
that a coach who's won a Super Bowl and who just does not finish below 500.
Even forget that part. If the Steelers end up being good this year, you can't say the guy who gets them there with hardly anybody on the team is overrated.
He's never below 500. He started Mason Rudolph one year because that's all he had. He had to do that on purpose, and he still finished above 500.
Yeah.
What else does the guy have to do? I mean, if he's overrated, man, who is actually normally rated in your book? Because that standard is high.
Yeah, Tomlin is not overrated. Nope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1904, Thomas Hicks of Cambridge, Massachusetts, won the 3rd modern Olympic marathon in St. Louis, Missouri, in 3 hours and 28 minutes and 53 seconds, proving there were no Kenyans in the race. He collapsed at the finish line amid 90-degree heat and 90% humidity. Oh, my God. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Better person than me, because if I walk out to 90% humidity, I ain't running that day.
No, here's another thing. There was only 32 guys in the race, and somebody came across the finish line before he did, but he got disqualified. Fred Lors of the Mohawk Athletic Club of New York. He finished 15 minutes ahead of Hicks, but he was later disqualified when it was learned he rode in an automobile for 11 of those 26 plus miles.
Hey, you gotta give him effort. That's
so he pulled up, he waited around a little bit, he looked at his watch, he's like, that should be good. Then he ran up there looking sweaty.
That happened in an episode of The Fresh Prince with the butler. He used to be a long distance runner, and then he wins the race, and then they they have like another camera angle of him getting in a taxi cab and taking it all the way to like the end of the race.
I mean, in 90-degree humidity, I'd be tempted. I'd be eyeballing that pedal cab sitting there. You know,
Yeah, I don't
pedal
even-
cab would be more realistic for your time though.
Yeah,
than
do
just getting into
that.
a car.
Yeah. But look, to get out of that humidity, I can't say that I blame him.
No, smart move.
Oh, hey, you know, this seems very unsatisfying, but that remember they were investigating Eric Lewis, that NBA referee. He had a Kevin Durant style burner tweet, and he was getting out there and he was defending himself and other officials against people saying, "Oh, that ref sucks," and they'd be like, "Hey, no, he's good at what he does." You know, he was doing it in the name Blair Cutliff. That sounds like the most made up name.
It's just if you put you just got a random name generator and then just got it to just get any two names together. That's not a person.
Blair Cutliff. And I guess the league were like, wait a second, we got to figure this out. So they've investigated whether Lewis violated NBA rules by speaking out about officiating in an unauthorized manner. And so they were investigating him. And then out of nowhere, I think he just finally was like, you know, nothing to do with this, but I think it's time to retire. And he retired. So they're like, well, I guess there's no more reason for an investigation. So never mind. Moving on. Nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I have no sources in this. This is just a gut feeling. It seems like someone told Eric, retire.
Yeah.
Jump before we push you. And then once that happened, they closed the investigation because there are some unsavory things that they didn't want us to know. And a further investigation would
burn down more houses.
Yeah, it would make the NBA look really bad. That's what I think.
So swept that up under the rug.
That is unbelievable. Because normally, if the investigation is something that's serious, to make sure that other officials don't do it or aren't involved, you would continue that. This
I
is a
swear to
nonsense.
Christ, if this covers up for Scott Foster, there's going to be violence. If we find out, there will be violence. Ralph, thanks for hanging in there with us today. Appreciate that. And Keon and me and Randy, we'll be back tomorrow. And Ralph, you can come back later this week if you want.
I'll be back.
Well, then okay. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Staples has big savings on everything for back to school or stocking up the